Christmas time is here. Au savoir, savoir. Au savoir, 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 savoir.
Fucking incredible.
Oh, just so annoying. Wow. Anyway, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Please stand by. We have to step away and go get wine. Answer the door.
Oh, Christine.
Oh, Christine.
What do they say? My captain, my captain. My Christine, my Christine.
Aw.
How you doing?
Listen.
I am.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Out of 10, how you feeling?
No, I'm good. I'm like a 6 or 7. It's the weather's gloomy. I'm just like meh, it's like cold. I don't know. I'm okay. How are you doing though?
I would love to trade weather with you.
You can have it.
I wish we could do that. How am I doing? I'm all right. I am truly running on steam here. I got barely any sleep. I got beyond invested in these notes. And of course it's always this fucking way. I should know by now, almost 500 fucking episodes in, that
especially because last night I said, hey, tomorrow there might be a snow day, so I want to warn you in advance that it's like we might not be able to record because Blaze is out of town, and if I have a snow day I'm stuck with Leona all day. I shouldn't say stuck with, but you know what I mean, like stuck with a 4-year-old all day.
Don't worry.
And I said, so I'm not sure. And then I fell asleep before I saw your text that was like, oh, do you want to make the call now? And I was like, oops. So you didn't even know whether we were recording till like an hour before recording.
But the mystery is what keeps.
But you really committed to the notes, man. I'm impressed. Okay.
Well, I was trying to think of something. This is what I was meaning by like it always happens this way, is that I'm always trying to shoot for like I'm just gonna do a short episode this time. So like let me just do like a quick round of notes.
That's how it begins.
And then it's always the longest fucking set of notes I can find. And what's interesting is that this is a good sign. This is how you know it's gonna be a good story. Is that like I didn't even care if we were recording or not. I just got rabbit holed into this topic.
Yeah, I love when that happens. Yeah.
But there is way too much content, especially on YouTube, that good luck to me. It was never going to happen being able to see every single thing that's ever happened. And nobody wants to hear me report on every second either. Of what
I beg to differ. I promise you there are those people out there, but
well, I'm going to make people medium happy today because it is a lengthy one, but it's all good. And actually I have YouTube to thank because all of the sources were like had nothing to do with ghosts. It was all history based, and only YouTube gave me what I actually wanted, which was the real meat. So anyway, I'm happy about that, but I am extremely tired, so I am looking forward to my nap after this. And thank you for asking. The reason I drink, I don't know if you actually asked that or not yet.
I'm asking mentally in my head. So yeah.
Big news, everybody. We found one of Hanky's brothers. And we have a play date tomorrow.
How did I know that's what you were going to say? You said big news and I went, oh my God, Hank has a family.
Well, because I'm certainly not the one that's going to be like, oh, some other big milestone. It's always going to be the dog.
I guess it probably has to do with Hank. Wow, wait, so sorry, say again. So you found Hank's brother and what did you say? You're going to meet him?
Yeah, he has a play date tomorrow with his, well, we think it's his brother. I guess genetically it could be his grandfather, his uncle, or a sibling.
His grandfather? Oh my God, Hank found his grandfather.
Which, like, by the way, this dog does look a little older. It could be his grandfather. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Yeah, I love when they're like, oh, his half brother or cousin, or I'm like, wow, this is quite a family tree that dogs have. Yeah,
it is like an immediate family member.
Oh my God, I've never found one for Gio like that was that close of a match. That's awesome.
Well, Hank has some breeding, like breeder breeding in his past, and so he has about 50,000 siblings.
Oh shit!
But he only has 2 who are local. And one of them will not get back to me. So if your name happens to be Dash and you have a Bernese Mountain Dog named Oakley, fucking message me back.
I love that I thought Dash was the dog. Okay.
I honestly don't know which one is which, but I'm pretty sure.
They're both applicable, yeah.
If your name's Oakley and you have a Bernese Mountain Dog named Dash.
I mean, odds are could be the same, yeah.
And if neither of you are related to my dog, the 2 of you should meet up.
Yeah, clearly.
But so this one, oh my god, of course I need to know his name for this exact moment. Please hold. His name is Herbie, the dog. The
Oh.
dog, not the person. And I messaged them.
Herbie and Hank. I mean, come
I
on.
know, come on. So Oakley slash Dash, I don't know which one it is. That is like his little brother.
Okay.
I actually don't know. On the website it says that Oakley slash Dash is his like actual half sibling, but
Mm-hmm.
then it says that Herbie is his grandfather or uncle or sibling, and we're not sure. But Oakley slash Dash and Herbie are full blood siblings. So
Oh,
I don't
so
know
then it would
the
probably be a
science
sibling.
there,
Yeah.
right? It feels like
Right.
there's a title there that is important. I just
That
don't know what it
feels
is.
like one of the gate program tests. Like if Herbie and his brother are related, are siblings.
And then
Oh
they
my
make you
god.
drink a weird pink drink and
Yeah,
go
they're
into
like
a
just now
bus
lay
where
down
you
on the
listen.
ground.
Anyway, I'm very excited. I'm not totally loving the idea of like having to socialize with a stranger alone for like maybe 1 to 2 hours in a
Where are you
random park.
meeting? Oh, at park. Okay, well
In a
that's good.
park, but also like an hour away because he lives like an hour and a half or 2 hours away, and so I tried to find a spot in the middle. So it's like a 45-minute commute. So
Do you think they'll know they're related? That's like the dumbest question.
no, I'm wondering too. That's half the reason I'm going. So I'm
Yeah,
like, will they care
I'm fascinated.
or no? Yeah. Anyway, that's why I drink, because I'm trying to
Wow.
reunite my baby with
Oh
his
my
family.
gosh, this is quite a situation. You should TikTok this so I can watch it.
Thank you. The other fun fact is he does have a sibling in Norway. Would you like to know what that sibling's name is?
Finn. I have no idea.
The King of Hell.
Hello? What?
That's
Are
one of
you
Hank's
serious?
brothers' names, yeah.
What if that was the owner's name and you got him mixed up?
No, I guess in Norway there's a place called
Oh,
Hell,
that's right. There
and
is. Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
they named their dog the King of Hell.
Well, in Austria, there's a place called Fucking, so at least it's not the king of fucking. That could be really bad.
That'd be, if he was a real hump master,
I suppose so.
it'd be crazy. Anyway, why do you
Wow.
drink, Christine?
Well, this is kind of like a doozy that I feel like people will have thoughts on or chime in on, but I'm feeling really conflicted about how to talk to Leona about. Okay, sorry. Alert, alert! If there are children in the vicinity who have some holiday magic, just change the episode, please, right now, or pause it. Okay, I'm. That was your chance. I'm conflicted about how to talk about Santa with Leona because I'm like, I just feel so weird lying, and I didn't think it would be this like hard, but I'm just really struggling because I don't feel good about it. I don't know. I'm
Interesting.
trying to find a middle ground, and I feel like I think it must be like a personal thing. Like I love the concept of Santa and Christmas, and like I want that magic to be real, but I think I was so taken aback when I realized my parents had been lying to me for years, and like they weren't especially conscientious of like how they handled it when I found out, and I felt very like misled and confused, and like I really struggled with it. And so I think I'm really like trying to find a way to do it in the least damaging way possible, but I also don't want to be like, immediately I'm going to ruin Christmas. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm struggling. I don't know.
What have you discussed with Daddy-O?
Well, we're just kind of on I'm just trying not to push it too much. Like we're just like, oh, yeah, Santa will bring presents and you can write a letter. Like we've been
Are you like gonna like
all the usual.
have her
but-
go meet Santa, or like what if a stranger's like, oh, is Santa are you gonna be good for
Yeah,
Santa?
no, and she's like, yeah, Santa already knows all the things. Like, and she's very, very, I don't know, very. I think, yeah, she's very in the Santa zone already. I just worry that if she ever asks me any questions about it, that I'm gonna be like, I
think
don't know
she's
what to
gonna
say.
figure it out quickly based on your anxiety. She's gonna
I
go,
know, no,
this
and this
feels
is something I
shady.
do not bring to the table unless I'm out of earshot. But I don't know. I mean, what is your take on it? Because I also don't want to not do Santa. Like I don't want to do that. I don't feel comfortable not doing that. And I think it's way more
Sure.
fun to have Santa. I love the idea. I loved having Santa around growing up, as a legend and stuff. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm just
I mean, you're
struggling.
coming to the person who is the least equipped with children. So
I don't
and
know. You
also
just found your son's grandfather or something. So
my father-in-law,
yeah, yeah.
something like that. No, I don't know. We also like I think probably reacted to things differently as a kid. Like when I found out about Santa,
Yeah, what happened?
well, my art teacher told everybody.
What is wrong with people? Teachers of all people should not be the ones to be spoiling that.
I did think that was fucked up, but also I think she thought it was okay because we were like 11. Like by that point, like I think enough
Oh,
kids knew, but my mom just never confirmed nor denied it for me.
I
I think
was
she wanted me to
8.
believe in the spirit of
And it was
things.
like I wanted my mom to play along a little longer and she was like, "No, obviously it's not real." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I thought maybe you'd like comfort me a little bit, but like no." It's
No,
just
my
like
art teacher was a real jerk. She literally just she had
that
some point to
sucks.
make about Santa not being real, and then she caught herself, and I remember her hesitating and then going, "We all know
Ooh.
Santa's not real, right?"
Ooh, we don't want that.
And I
That's
went,
really bad.
"Well, that confirms things." I mean, I was already suspicious. My mom has always said that by the time I was like 6, I was already asking some like critical thinking questions there.
Right, because it's like things start to be more
Yeah,
apparent. Yeah,
or
with
like
handwriting and
I think for me, I was able to grasp that like my parents were trying to do a like a magical thing.
mhm.
Like I was
Well,
never.
that's what I wanted. I was like, at least can we play along? And my mom was like, nah, all right, it's over. And then she's like, but don't tell your brother or any of your neighbors. So for like years, I just had to pretend with
Mm,
them. And it was really, I was like,
that's evil
damn, it's
because
just me.
everyone else got to have the magic.
I know. And my brother, it took him a few more years. And I was like,
Hmm.
it sucked. And then
Well,
she gave
that's
my bike to my neighbors, and I had to pretend Santa got it for them, and it was my bike. Anyway, there's clearly a lot wrapped up in this for me emotionally. And also, the girl who told me is that girl I mentioned like a few months ago, I think, who like was said she was just pretending to be my friend all year, and then
you
like
had a bad year that day.
it was a bad year. I was 8 years old, and she's like, only idiots believe in Santa, and
No, okay, Christine, I think we need to look within. This is obvious. I think there are other contributing factors here as to why you had such a problem with Santa. I think people just were bullying the shit out of you
I
that
mean,
year.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that doesn't help, right?
I
And then
think
I went to my mom and she's like, duh. And I was like, okay, can nobody just pretend for a minute?
I think nobody just let you have a whimsical moment to save your life. And I think
there's
that
no
plays into
magic,
it.
no whimsy. Yeah. And I want, but here's what I struggle with. Like, I'm fine. Like, it's been fine just being like, oh, Santa comes and drops off your gifts. And like, that's totally fine. But I think the part I struggle with is like last year, Blaze did like footprints, with like
Mhm.
some flour. Well, Geo licked most of them up, but like footprints and
Precious.
flour and like
And
the
like the
cookies and all that.
cookies, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's cute. But then I'm like, is that like alarming? I don't know. Is that like too far of a
I
lie? I don't know.
I you are not wrong. I get what you're saying. And honestly, we all know that I only don't know answers with confidence because I don't have to know them. The second
Right.
I had
Right.
kids, I'd be like, "What the fuck do I do?"
What do you do? I know.
Um, I don't know. I don't think 4-year-olds are aware of the creep factor
Fair
that is
enough. Fair
Santa.
enough.
I
Yeah.
think people had to like tell me line by line exactly how creepy he was eventually.
Yeah. I mean, it does sort of take a few decades to realize. Yeah.
I think uh, if I had to babysit and all of a sudden I'm getting questions about Santa, I would. And you couldn't make it on the phone for some reason. I'm just got to make a
You're
decision.
calling the police, like
Yeah.
911.
I mean, I think I would like dip my toe into. I would like slowly test the waters on like how she's responding to the magic, and if
Yeah.
at some point she went, "That feels a little creepy," I'd go, "Yeah, he's fucked up, or no, he's actually not real."
Yeah. Don't even talk to him.
Yeah. No, I know a lot of people say like even try to like half truth it, and they're like, "Oh, he's all the magic of him
I
is
know.
real," and
That's
but
hard.
I feel like that's even harder to explain because now
That's
you're
hard.
turning into like some philosophical concepts
Because
versus
it's
like,
like,
is he
well, so
real or
you've
not?
been lying to me all these years. And it's like, yeah, technically. And so it's
I,
like, is it
hmm.
okay to lie? No, but in this case it is. And it just, and I know I'm like over analyzing it and overthinking it.
Well, you're a mom.
And we keep it really chill for the most part. And it's not even been an issue yet, but she's just very quick. And so I'm like, any day now, she's going to be like, but hang on, why is this wrapping paper up in your office?
That was how my mom knew that I was on. I
It's
was slick
so
on
hard
her
to like hide things like that.
because she was like, I said something like, "Mommy, your wrapping paper is the exact same as," or
Uh-huh.
it's Santa's wrapping paper is the exact same one at Target, like something like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
And
it's the same discount one we bought at Costco last week. Yeah.
yeah, and my mom was like, "Oh, Santa has great taste," or like something like that. But I mean, I could see like you letting her just have nothing but whimsy, and then when she starts asking questions, like
Yeah,
then just go
that's
straight into
probably
the
what I'll do.
honesty.
Yeah, or to be like just like the posts I've read about it, which I'm so thankful now for creators and people online who like share stuff about this, like psychiatrists and psychologists and child psychologists and just people who are like, here are some appropriate things to say depending on the age. Here is like an appropriate response, and so that's been really helpful. And I don't want to like throw my mom totally under the bus. Like she didn't know what to do, you know,
No parent does.
and
No.
right, no parent does, and so. But I've been reading a few things, and I think the like best approach I've landed on is like, yeah, when they ask questions, just kind of suss out how ready they are for the
Hmm.
answer. Like when I asked that question, I really wanted my mom to just be like, "Of course, Santa's real," just like, and I would have been like, "Phew, let me have another 1 year or something out of this," you know.
Yeah. I think
And
I
I,
would.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that's what I'll do. Is just like, like approach cautiously with whatever she brings, and then
Hmm.
like go from there. Yeah,
I so far what I've seen you do with her is a lot of like letting her lead the
yeah.
imagination train of like if she were to be like, "Oh, do you think there's other reindeer out there?" You've done a lot of like, "Well, what do you think?" Like a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah. That feels like the
and
right,
then
yeah.
you're not really saying yes or no or whatever. She's just kind of making up her own story and having
And
a
then
good
she's
time
like,
with it.
"Actually, I do know exactly the truth." And I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, "There's 16 reindeer and 5 of them." I don't know that
Do
she
you
comes up with.
do you live in terror that she might come home from school and say, "This person said Santa isn't real." Now like
No,
you're like
not yet. She's in such
confronted
like a
about it?
sweet little gentle preschool. I'm like, there's no way these I mean, not no way, but I think in a few years maybe. But I think now there's not really. It would only be her recognizing like little inconsistencies, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, what it is, but I think I hated just being also tasked with like, now don't tell 4 of your closest friends and sibling for the next like 5, 6 years. And I was like, what?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
feels like not my job, but okay.
I wonder
Um,
no, that's
yeah.
that I mean, again, just the context of what you went through in the exact same era of discovering the truth about Santa, it sounds like maybe that's all also at play, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was a
Yeah.
rocky road for you for a second
Man, that girl
there.
was not nice, you know?
No, she sounds like a real bitch.
She was a real, real bitch. Tell you what, for an 8-year-old especially, like, damn, girl.
Oh,
She
well,
goes, I was just pretending to be your friend. What? Who says that?
I had someone I won't say when, but they referred to people as acquaintances based on location, and
What
they
does
would
that mean?
like, "Oh, I'm only friends with you because we live in the same area."
Oh, okay.
And would call them a balls acquaintance based on location.
What?
And, like, thought it was, like, a very, like, normal thing to say. I wonder if they thought it was, like, a joke and I just wasn't picking up on that. But they
Huh.
seemed pretty serious about it, and now in hindsight, this was years and years and years ago before I knew about, like, neurodivergence or anything. I'm wondering if that was just, like, a very literal definition of, like,
Yeah.
what our
And they're
relationship
like, "Oh,
was.
I just made an acronym to make it easier to remember."
Yeah. In the moment, though, I was like, "What a fucking mean thing to
Ow.
say."
Seriously.
But in hindsight, I'm kinda picking up some stuff, and I was like, I wonder if they just
Yeah.
that was just their way of, like, putting things in categories of, like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is a friend from childhood, this is a and a ball, this is
Like
a"
this isn't a ball. An
Um,
abomination.
anyway, I think that's funnier actually. But no, I don't know why I said that. I feel like there was a reason
Because
to
some
that.
people are just like kind of cruel, and you're like, wait, what?
Yes, I was trying to join in on, like
Yeah.
I've had friends who've also said things that were just
Was her name Olivia?
no,
Can you
no.
imagine?
That'd be
She's just
crazy.
still up to her old bullshit.
It's like, "She terrorized you too? Oh my god."
She and I had a
Uh,
ghost club.
that sounds great, though.
I know it was until she said, I never believed any of that. I just was pretending to be her friend. And I was like, cool, cool, cool. That's
But at least
nice.
she and I mean, not at least, it sounds, wildly manipulative that she knew exactly the way to sucker you into playing friends. Like, not even being
Oh,
friends, but just playing the
yeah.
game of
And
friends.
it's
Like,
because
"Let's
she
play
for
friends."
sure was in on it too. She's so full of shit. Like we were both like so invested, and then these other girls were like, "What's wrong with you guys?" And she was like, "Yeah, Christine, you loser." And I was like, "What the hell?"
Huh.
Yeah, that really sucked. But oh, she was the one I wrote the note to. The
Oh,
fake love letter. So it's all starting to piece together a little bit.
interesting,
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah, I would love a memoir. You let me know.
Anyway, yeah, somebody else has to write this because I'm not gonna remember shit.
Well,
Anyway.
no, thank you for feeling safe to bring the Santa situation. I'm guarantee you're not the only person involved in this podcast.
Yeah, I've seen people
Uh,
posting about it and stuff, so I'm like, I wanted to, yeah, open it up if anyone had thoughts or any creative
yeah,
angles or
I'll take
anything.
I'll take the advice because if I ever become a parent, I
Mm-hmm.
certainly won't know what to do.
Well,
Um,
you want to be careful with Hank. He's a smart one too, you know.
he is he knows I'm up to my wily ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's like, "What's a brother? What do you mean I'm gonna see him tomorrow? What's a
Hmm.
grandpa? What
What's
do
a
you mean I'm gonna see him
grandpa?
tomorrow?" Well, I wish you well on your parenting journey because that sounds like I could see why that would feel like something that you could like accidentally like fuck her up for
Like
life, and it's
mess up the trust or something, you know. But
yeah,
I know it's also years, hopefully years down the line that it even comes up. But
yeah. I don't know. I'm not the best candidate because it didn't. I knew I was being bamboozled, and I was fine with it. So
that's what
I,
I want. That's what
you
I'm
know,
hoping. Like I'm hoping that it all becomes like, oh, this is just part of my family's like tradition, and you know, it's not like a personal. Like
no,
clearly, it was personal for me, but I think as long as it's not like, oh, my mom was just lying to my face,
I
like
think the
you know,
slow burn realization on my end was like I was aware that she was trying to do something. Like there was good intention behind it.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it
I
was
sort of
like
got pushed into the deep end and was like, what?
you sure did, yeah. Oh my
What's on your
gosh.
shirt?
Oh,
I
I
keep thinking
would
it says Eeyore. Oh,
no, it's a
Explore.
dinosaur.
Is that
Um,
from?
Red Rocks.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay,
Um,
cool.
yeah, it was when I went to Denver with Allison a few months ago.
Oh, nice.
Um, but I guess next to the Red Rocks, there's a different rock called Dinosaur Rock. And
Oh, that's
so,
fun.
and I really wanted to get a shirt while we were there because we were there for our anniversary and we had been to the Red Rocks together in the past, but more of an excursion with her family who
Mm.
this was right when I was discovering like my like pot situation where like not I was feeling like I was going to pass out all the time.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like rocking a cane for a second. Fun fact, it has pretty much almost gone away except for when I'm waking up. So, in
Wow.
case anyone's wondering, my cardiologist said it was probably like a symptom of long COVID, and it seems to be going away.
Wow.
So yay! But
Good.
of
That's
course, it's
great.
after I ordered like a custom cane on Etsy.
Hey, you know, there will be use for that, and we all know it.
I don't know. But anyway, where were we? Oh, um, so we went. Her parents wanted to like walk up and down these incredibly long stairs when I'm already at an elevation and I'm having a breathing
Oh,
problem.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so I was like, maybe next time we come, it'll be a little better for me. And so we happened to go, and there was like they were playing Legally Blonde there. So I wanted to go to the merch line, but there was literally thousands of people there, and I was like, I'm not doing
Ugh.
it. So I bought this online.
Oh,
Fun.
that's cute. Yeah, I like that.
Anyway, sorry for you didn't ask. I just kind of kept going
I
there.
did. I said, "What's on your shirt, Eeyore?" And you said, "No."
You said what's on my shirt, and I should have just gone a dinosaur and then fucking cut it.
No, that's not enough. You know that's not enough.
Well, since you just can't get enough of my voice, Christine, I have a very good story for you that I'm personally excited about. I don't know what anyone else
I
is gonna
can
think.
tell.
Um, did we have to? Are there any updates? Anything we have to say
Probably. What day does this come out? I'm just curious.
before Christmas? I
It
think the week
is.
before Christmas.
Aw,
I think
Merry
this
almost
Sunday.
Christmas.
We're almost
No, this one's
Christmas.
for next Sunday. The 21st.
So the beginning of Christmas
Yeah.
week.
Christmas week.
Dare you? Or is this not the Christmas episode?
Christmas time is here. I even promised everyone in the makeup oh no, I can't believe I forgot. Okay, I'll do it again cuz next week it'll be too late. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Would you like to do it now here and we'll splice it to the front of the episode?
Great idea.
Okay. I'm all ears.
Okay, M and their Hollister perfume or cologne or whatever
I
nonsense.
knew we were going there.
I'm sorry, I meant Hank's actually, because it is Hank's signature scent. It is hard to pick like a signature scent, and then when you do, it's like it's so expensive, so you really have to commit. This has been solved by micro perfumes. It's really painful when you have to like spend a lot of money and then you realize like I don't like it as much as I thought I would. No more of this roulette. Okay, for just a few bucks, you can test drive the real deal. They've got Dior, Tom Ford, Creed, authentic designer scents without the full bottle gamble.
Yeah, my biggest problem, as you, if you might have heard in recent episodes, is that Jake Hollister was my scent, and now they don't make it anymore. So now I need a new scent. And luckily, with
Womp
micro perfumes,
womp.
I get to give that a little try because your scent introduces you before you even say a word. And if you want confidence in a bottle, like I used to have with my charming Hollister, may he rest in peace, micro perfumes might be for you if you're trying out a new scent.
Yes, they have over 500 fragrances to choose from, and it's just a few bucks per sample, so you don't feel like you're, wasting your money. So why commit blind to a $200 bottle? Find your scent soulmate today and get up to 60% off at microperfumes.com/drink.
That's microperfumes.com/drink for up to 60% off. Micro perfumes, real scents, no regrets.
Hello. Finally, it worked. I've been screaming to this cavern for days. Welcome back. You may have heard of HelloFresh. We love this stuff. They're the #1 meal kit in America and in my house. And this winter, they're serving up even more to love because this ain't the HelloFresh you remember. Instead, they've doubled their menu.
Which means it's now hello, fresh.
Oh, God, the echoes are going to go on forever.
Yeah, they're the #1 meal kit in America, making home cooking easier with chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients delivered straight to your door. You know I love a product that shows up right at my door, so I never have to leave. It is incredible. And they have doubled their menu. You can now choose from 100 options each week, including new seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world, so you can dig into bigger portions that'll keep everyone satisfied. And there's nothing I love more than, besides delivery to my door, is a bigger portion.
Yeah, bigger portions and then like getting to pick your meals every week. It really is one of the favorite parts of my week. The best way to cook just got better. Go to hellofresh.com/drink10fm now to get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast for life.
1 per box with active subscription, free meals applied as discount on first box, and new subscribers only, varies by plan.
That's hellofresh.com/drink10fm to get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life.
Ghosts, let's go. This is the Dumas Brothel.
Never heard of it.
Me either. Well, I can't say that anymore. But 20 hours ago, couldn't. Yeah.
And now you know everything.
And now I
Back,
know
front, sideways.
certainly an insane amount. For someone who likes to yap and tries to fit as much in as possible, I had to redact quite a lot because I was just trying to keep the time.
Ooh.
But there's a lot going on here. Hang on. Did I already fuck up? No, I didn't. Okay, great. This is in Butte, Montana. Montana is on my list of places I still need to visit, so this
Same.
might be an option. And we are in 1890.
1890. Okay.
Say it with me. You know it well.
Good year.
It was founded by 2 brothers named Joseph and Arthur Nadeau. And weirdly enough, it's a brothel, and they named it after one of their wives.
That's so romantic.
And then
Imagine the brothers being like, how about we name it after your wife?
Yeah, so apparently her maiden name was Dumas, but my first thought was like they named it after their wife, and it's Helen's like dumbass. I was like, that's
Oh yeah, I hadn't even thought of that.
extra mean. But yeah, I can't imagine Blaze opening up a brothel and calling it like the Schiefer.
And I was like, why would you do that? And he's like, because my brother suggested it. I'm like,
Right.
wait, what? You guys are weird.
We're actually in cahoots.
Yeah, that's super weird, guys.
Don't you feel so lucky to be a part of this? So the brothers, let me charge my laptop real quick. The brothers were big shots in town. They owned a lot of companies, especially a lot of brothels. So this was not the only brothel in town, certainly, and it was not the only brothel in town that they owned. But fun fact, this is the one that we're talking about. They had a lot of brothels in this area, and this area was known as the kind of red light district of Butte. Especially in the 1890s, I think sex work was legal at the time, and so there was really no hiding it, and there really wasn't any like moral higher ground if you weren't involved in it. It was kind of a very common business, I think.
Okay.
Fun fact for later, at some point the brothers stopped working together, and Joseph, who's the only brother you have to know the name of, he ended up owning the brothel on his own until he died at 77.
Okay.
So the only name you gotta know here so far is Joseph was one of the owners.
Got it.
After all of the brothels, like different expansions throughout the year, because it started smaller, then it grew, then it grew, then it grew. The building ended up with 43 rooms and still stands today and has all 43 rooms. So during its heyday, because this is the most fun part of any brothel story, is like
the heyday.
the heyday facts, I guess. But during its heyday, women were servicing, this is so yuck, servicing up to 50 to 60 men each day per person. They were each 50 to 60
Oy
men.
vey.
The original cost at the time when they started the sex work at this brothel was 50 cents each
Okay.
per 10 minutes.
Whoa, okay.
I should have done the math. I did other math later for you. I should have done that. It was not our equivalent of 50 cents. It was actually probably a solid pay.
Right.
And then this brothel lasted almost 100 years, and by the time the brothel ended, sex workers were getting $20 a pop instead of 50 cents a pop.
Whoa, wait, so till like 1980? Wait, is that right?
Mhm.
1990? Oh my God.
We'll get there. So,
Okay.
but it started with 50 cents for 10 minutes, and there was some note that I found in one of the sources where like the average time between a guy getting into the brothel, doing his business, and leaving was 8 minutes. It's
Oh,
like why do we
wow.
know that, first of all? But
In and out.
a lot of the sex workers kept diaries, and the diaries were found.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, treasure trove.
So this was another area. I just talked about a mining town recently. This is another one of those, and it was actually also a copper mine. But the copper miners in the area were some of the biggest clientele here, and they all worked 3 different shifts at the mines. And so the women also worked 3 different shifts. So that way the brothel was
Okay.
a constant stream of revenue, if you will.
Right.
They also catered to wealthier clientele on different floors. Basically, the level that you
Mm.
were on was the quality of service, I suppose,
Wow.
and the cost of the night. Um, so the upper floor was for the wealthiest clients. The next floor down, which was like the I don't know ground floor. I don't depending on who's listening. The lobby, the main floor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was kind of mid tier pricing, and then in the basement
Oh boy.
were the cribs, as they call it.
Whoa.
And it was called the cribs because it was so small down there that basically only a crib could fit.
What a weird like measurement to use. A
We
crib
couldn't call it anything. A
of
bike.
all things.
Couldn't call it anything else. A wagon.
Anything. A fucking wagon. That's a good one.
So
A wheelbarrow. I don't know.
trust me, I was like, that's fucking
Crib
weird.
is wild
That's
choice.
fucking
Okay.
weird. The rooms in the basement were called cribs. This was also the area that had the worst conditions. This was kind of the area where a lot of the miners would come in from. They actually ended up creating their own door down in the basement, so you didn't even have to go through the front door to get service here. You could just go through the back alley, come in through the back, do your service, do your stuff as long as you were fine to pay the lowest price and have the lowest quality of experience, probably with quote the yikes lowest quality of woman they could find or something,
Mm.
or whoever's easiest, I don't know, whatever gross phrase they could come up with. And then you could leave and you've never even seen the main floor of the building.
Yeah, okay, so even an entrance, private entrance.
Yeah. And I guess a lot of the brothels, I mean, this was the red light district, so a lot of the buildings were just brothel after brothel after brothel, and a lot of them had a back door like this that all
Right.
opened up until the same alley, which was called Pleasant Alley.
Oh god, of all names.
I know. At some point, Pleasant Alley was changed to Venus Alley, so if you live in the area, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
But it was also like a really dangerous alley because it was where all of the kind of, you know, where you were going to do illegal, nefarious things.
Mm.
And apparently the women would have to advertise their work experience. Basically, they were walking resumes, so a lot of them would do what you've seen in movies of like leaning over the balconies pretty much naked to like
to
be like,
entice
come on in, yeah.
clientele. Okay.
Anyway, the brothel itself was in fact the longest operating brothel in the country, and
Wow.
it closed in 1982, which sounds
Wow.
crazy. And it was around 65 years after sex work was illegal.
Okay.
So it was doing some sneaky stuff all
Under
the way
the
through the
radar.
80s. Before, like I said earlier, this was actually a very common business early on, especially in this kind of area where a lot of the clientele were kind of minors, and this was just like an easy place for it to happen. And also it was an area that required some version of revenue going through their economy, and sex work did uh what's the word I'm thinking of? It did
Bolster.
contribute bolster, thank you. It did bolster the economy. Apparently a lot of the women would, they were responsible for dry cleaners and apothecaries where they
Mm.
needed to get medicine after their nights. So it was kind of holding the area together. And so
Right, right.
even as it became less and less moral of a thing, no one ever
And
poo-pooed on
like the
it.
people, everyone knows someone who's participating, so it's like at a certain point, who's going to tell on who? Yeah.
Yeah, and there, because it was a mining town, I wish I knew the source that I read, but um a lot of women who were doing it, they also were single women because their husbands worked in the mines and then they would die. And so they needed
Oh,
a
I
way to
see.
to
Yeah.
live afterwards. So
Right.
there was a lot of reasons around why
Hmm.
this was such a solid thing in the area. But in 1917, sex work became outlawed for the first time. Do you know why? I didn't know this. I think once I tell you.
1907 World War One. I have no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So,
Hey.
well, so they didn't want the soldiers to get STIs and be unable to fight in battle. So that's the only reason why sex work
Oh, they're
became.
like, actually, we have one more slightly more elevated purpose, slightly more urgent purpose for these men, which is going to get killed.
Yeah,
So we need them at their fighting fit.
at their fighting fit. So this is when businesses had to start getting sneakier with their kind of like wheelings and dealings. But for a long time, police knew about it anyway, and they ignored it. Again, mainly because sex work was a huge part of Butte's economy. Um, One example of how dependent the county was or the area was
Mm.
on their money coming in was that one year copper prices went up, which meant miners' pay went up. They all got raises by like 25 cents. And that alone added $6,000 then, or almost $250,000 now, to Butte's economy.
Jesus. Oh my God. Okay. Wow.
That much more money went into sex work as
Booming.
soon as people got like a quarter for a raise.
Right.
So this town was trying to keep the sex work, alive as long as I could because it was
Like
doing
as
good things for
stable as
them.
possible. Yeah.
Another reason the police ignored what was going on at the brothel was because a lot of the madams would pay them off. They would have these
Mm.
like fines where like if you pay this fine, then we'll walk away. And
We'll just ignore it. Yeah. 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 Okay.
some cops who didn't play that way and actually did try to do raids on the place. Uh,
Found their cop brethren inside and we're like, this is awkward. The captain's here.
yeah, time to go.
That's what I
No,
picture in like the HBO version of this
of
show.
course. That was my first
Mhm.
thought too. I was like, I wonder if they're like keeping it under wraps because they probably go here in their free
Yeah,
time,
I would
right?
think some of them.
If it's this normalized,
Yeah.
I can't say people I know wouldn't be going if it was this normalized. It just
Your
part
A
of
A balls. What are they called? The
my
balls.
my balls, yeah. No, I imagine if it's that normal, like of course everyone's doing it, you know. So anyway, a lot of cops would try to do raids on them anyway when they were not of that world. And the sex workers had a way around that because they had not only were they doing illegal activities, but they had some immigrants who hadn't had their papers filled out yet or anything like that working for them. I think there's at least 2 or 3 people I read about that worked here and were always afraid of being deported. And so one of the ways that the sex workers helped them was that if there was a raid, they made fake refrigerators in the kitchen that were just basically boxes. Like just then they would just put them in the box, and so like a cop would never think to go look in the fridge for people. And it
This
was
is kick
completely
ass.
hollowed out so they could just stand in there, but it looked like a freezer and a fridge door. And they would put a fake broken lock on the fridge door so that way if the cop tried to yank it and it wouldn't open, they could be like, "Oh yeah, we haven't gotten around to fixing the latch yet. It just doesn't open." But it was a
And the
full
person
ass
inside is like, oh my God, oh my God,
well, it was a full door, and on the inside, it locked like 3 different times, so
oh my
they could
God.
lock themselves in,
Smart,
and it had air
smart.
holes and everything, so they could be there as long as they needed to. So
Genius.
the
And
in
it
a
was a
lot of
refrigerator, so there's like pudding and all sorts of produce next to you.
unfortunately, no, it literally looked like a movie fridge. Like there was nothing in there. It was you
Oh
crawled in and just
shit.
stood there. Like
Oh, it's so creepy.
there was no appliances in there. It
Very
was just a
clever.
hole. It was super clever. So just another way that like sex work was like not only helping the county or the area, but like their literal staff. Like
Yeah.
help it was just a big communal space. I know it's kind of like weird to say, but it's true.
Yeah.
Um so anyway, all that to say it was illegal since 1917. They really cracked down in 1943 because of World War II. So both
Mm.
world wars are responsible for this. Um, so then they had to get even sneakier. They renamed themselves a hotel instead of a brothel. Or I think it was a boarding house that they renamed themselves to.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sealed off all of the like secret passage back alley doors and things like that. It actually is said that they also sealed off the basement entirely, which is very interesting, which I will get to in a second. But just know that they, in theory, sealed off the bottom, and so like it wasn't touched since like the 40s or 50s, and
Spooky.
then it was reopened.
Spooky. I wish I were there for that. Oh my god, I wish nothing more. It would be my dream to go like open those tunnels up.
The tunnels are still like they look like the walls we were not allowed to go back into at the Sally house. Like they're just like kind of like dirty and old and like untouched, and like you couldn't even climb through
With the
there if you
walls in the
wanted.
basement, you mean?
Yeah, the one that Zach climbed through.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the ones. Oh, right. The foundation of the home. Yeah. Yeah, that looks so. It looks like my basement, basically, like just creepy, like little pathways and dirt floors. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want any of it. It looks.
I mean,
very
I
fucking
do
creepy.
personally, but you don't. So
I want to watch you have a great time.
yeah, you can watch my GoPro footage afterward.
So, the last part of the history I'm going to get into is that there were a lot of madams that ran the brothel throughout the years. There are some significant ones that you do need to know. So I'm just going to only tell you those because I just I
Yeah,
could
give
do
me
a
the top tier,
thank you.
madams.
And if you need to write this down, I am about to say a lot of names.
Okay.
And you don't have gargoyles like I do. So
I don't, and I'm really disappointed I haven't gotten some by now. Okay, here we go. You go ahead.
okay. So the first one, there's Eleanor.
Okay.
And so basically she was one of the madams during the 50s. She falls in love with a guy. This is the story, at least, that she fell in love with a guy. She was going to leave the industry. She was going to stop her job as a madam. She was just going to have a new life with this boyfriend.
She was done with this life. Okay.
Done with this life. Exactly. Leave it behind her. But then she had at least how the story goes, she had her suitcase ready. Her boyfriend was supposed to pick her up that day and take her away from this town, and he never showed up.
Tale as old as time.
Jilted
Okay.
bride, I swear.
I know, every time.
And so the next day, as the story seems to go, is that she was found dead in her room.
Oh.
Now the thing is, she was found dead in her room. Some people say she died by suicide, but some people say that the woman who found her, whose name was Bonita.
Okay. Got
There
it.
you go. Bonita found her, and the autopsy report said that Eleanor died of natural causes, like a coronary issue or something, but she was incredibly young. That shouldn't be how she have gone.
And the timing is pretty weird.
Yeah, and exactly. It's very interesting that Bonita is the one that found her, because as soon as she died, Bonita stepped up and became the next madam, immediately moved in with her husband, immediately started driving Eleanor's car, immediately started using whatever
Moved in
money
with
she had.
Eleanor's husband?
No, sorry, that's crazy. No, moved in with her own husband.
Moved in, bringing her husband along. Okay, I was like, oh shit,
that
this
would be
is
like,
getting real dark. Okay,
that's insane. That's like soap opera.
Woo. She was her twin, her evil twin.
She actually peeled her face off and she was Eleanor. But so she started using all Eleanor's shit. She moved straight in. And then she even tried to like provide evidence that said like, no, Eleanor wanted me to have all these things. We had discussions where she was going to like, I was going to inherit all this from her.
I guess she probably put someone in place like after when she was going to leave, right?
She did, and her name was, I think, like Jean or something. It was
a different person?
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, this is starting to get fishy.
Yeah, so it ended up being proven that Eleanor, I don't know about proven, but there was other evidence against Bonita's evidence that said Eleanor wanted to actually sell everything and not let anyone inherit any of it. And the next person who was going to be a madam was this other woman that Bonita stepped in front of and got in the way. So interesting that all of this happened, and she's the one that found her and could have made up the story. Maybe there was no boyfriend and she had a suitcase and she was going to go run away. Like maybe she was just there and got killed.
Oh, interesting. So we're hearing all this from Bonita.
Yes. So she could have died by suicide, could have been murder. We don't know, but she was
really coincidental coronary issue, or maybe she was so upset it like triggered a heart attack. I don't know.
On top of that, what's interesting is that the other big death that happened here was Bonita's husband, also found by Bonita.
Not to be confused with Eleanor's husband, like I did for a moment. Okay, good.
No, he was found at the bottom of the stairs, with a broken neck, but his cause of death at the autopsy had a question mark at the end of it, because even the mortician or autopsy guy, he was unsure. Things didn't
A
add up.
question mark is wild on an official document.
It's like broken neck question mark.
Ooh, that's yeah, okay.
Or whatever the reason was. I don't tell you, but so I guess they thought that the broken neck, the stairs were not steep enough for him to have broken his neck that way. So there was talk that his neck was broken previously, and then he was thrown down the stairs by
To
someone.
make it look like an accident. Okay.
And of course, he was found by Bonita, who also found the only other dead person here.
Bonita.
Bonita. So yeah. So that's interesting. Anyway, she became one of the next madams, and after she ended up stepping down, came along a woman named Ruby. You don't need to know anything about Ruby except that she was involved in a robbery at some point here. And she was the last madam. She was the madam until the 80s. But
Okay.
after the robbery, really trying not to get into more drama, but they ended up closing the place. They discovered too much after the robbery. They were like, you're obviously still running a brothel. It's the 80s. Goodbye.
Yeah, this is actually, we're in a new era now. So
Yeah. So just to keep it short and tight, that's what we're going to go with. So in 1982, the brothel officially closed and it turned into a museum. It had a bunch of restorations done to it to like try to preserve it. And during these restorations, the whole basement or chunks of the basement were unsealed. And they found all of the stuff that was original from 1943, all the way down to like cigarette butts on the nightstand table.
Oh, it was just sealed right off. Oh
And
my God.
Condoms and coins. There was glasses still with alcohol dried into it. There was clothing.
Imagine just like leaving your drink for a minute and then it's like, oh no, it's actually going to be there for another 40 years untouched. That's crazy.
There was like a masquerade mask that if someone was into that. A lot of the stuff people found in walls, like they found like matchbooks and like clothes in the walls. And all of it is still down there. It literally just looks like a shrine. It's like, yeah, and you can go on tours and see it. So all of this to now say, fast forward to 2012, where it has been the guy who's owned it has been trying to do restorations and turn it into a museum. He ends up selling it to a couple named Michael and Travis. And they also wanted to help turn it into a museum and a gift shop and an Airbnb. Girl, did Michael walk by? What happened just now?
A door just slammed at my house and Blaze is on a trip. And I'm like, it happened twice. And I was like, I heard you making noises. And I was like, oh, it's just the cats. And then the door went bam. And he's pacing the room and I'm getting freaked out. Gio? Maybe Blaze came back.
Yeah, maybe he
from
came
his
all the way
trip.
from his exact. Maybe Leona actually grew up 20 years immediately and she's just walking around.
Please hold.
Yeah.
Please go viral if I die.
Okay, great.
Make the most of my death.
I certainly hope to. Don't worry. Good luck.
Hello?
Why hello? One-way ticket to a not surviving the horror movie. At what point do I decide that she didn't survive this? And now it's just a one-man show. I was hoping for some like remote commentary from the other room through the hall, but I'm not even hearing her. Oh my God, is it her? Oh, thank God.
Well, I'm still alive. I yelled hello and then nothing happened.
We heard. I was like, well, that's literally the first thing you don't do in any horror movie.
And like, why? I don't know why. I just thought maybe Blaze came home.
I understand like rationally why someone would say hello, but also like the other option is that a person you don't want in your house says hello back.
And now they know they're there. Yeah. Really dumb. And also I was thinking, I will say sometimes when I yell at the cats, they come like running by because they're like, so I thought maybe I'll yell hello and they'll like come scuttling out of the room, but it was just silent. So I don't know.
If it happens a third time, I'm out of here.
If it happens a third time, yeah, something's gone awry and I need to figure out what's happening.
Did it sound like aggressive or like could one of the cats just bumped into a door?
That's what I'm wondering, but I looked at all the doors I could find and nothing seemed like closed or even leaned closed. I don't know.
My doors here are
still just like staring down the stairs. Okay.
My doors here are pocket doors, so like if they move, I'm for sure out of the house.
That means like the earthquake is so bad that the house is like tilted and it's just sliding. Which like honestly not unheard of, I would imagine, in LA, but
no, I'm sure.
Oh man. Well, it's either I mean, nobody's on my doorbell camera, so it's either a ghost or somebody's been living in the walls.
I I am I don't that sounds horrible.
At
Well, that
least
was
Gio's protecting me. Not really. He followed me downstairs with his tail between his legs.
that's
So
what I thought. Yeah, someone at the dog park was like, "Would Hank protect you?" And I was like, Literally not a
no, no.
chance. Not a
I didn't.
chance."
I don't believe until I witnessed it with my own two eyes. I don't believe any dog would do that. Even though I know for a fact there are dogs that are like very protective. Gio would be like, "Oh no, she died.
Mine
I'm gonna go
isn't.
back upstairs."
He would help the
Yeah, he'd
killer.
be like,
Yeah.
"You brought snacks? Oh yeah, let's kill him."
Couldn't have had a better plan myself.
Yeah, I'll hop in your car. I'll wait there.
Well, so okay, so we were at they unsealed it and doing
My
during
dream. I want to
restorations.
know all about it. Yeah.
And there's just a whole bunch of cool stuff down there. But in 2012, a new couple owned the place to continue renovating
Michael
it.
and Travis.
Michael and Travis, and they wanted it to be a gift shop. They wanted it to turn into an Airbnb, but the spirits were not kind to this couple. And you tell me, well, don't tell me what you think yet, but be
Okay.
aware of Michael and Travis. They are Michael in particular is a big character here. Who, by the way, didn't see a single fucking lick about Michael on my reading journey, but on my
Travis
watching
is.
journey.
Oh,
So the
okay.
couple in general, like, do not get mentioned at all. And then all of a sudden, like every TV show they were involved in, or there was a quote from them or something. And so, um, I was shocked that this didn't get mentioned a lot. Although, we'll get there. There's too much to go through. So, Michael and Travis, they want to turn this into an Airbnb. The spirits were not kind to them. Basically, Michael was, um, it seemed that he was the major victim to a lot of the dark energy here.
Mm,
He would talk about how he was constantly feeling like he was being choked by something here, how he would get shoved
mm.
onto the ground, how he literally would get lifted off the ground and slammed down into the
Jesus.
floor. Um, he would go into the basement as little as possible because I haven't really talked a lot about the basement except that it got unsealed, but that area is certainly the darkest, creepiest
I can only imagine, especially if it
area.
was like the most efficient part of the building and they're just like getting people in and out through a secret door or like through a secret door or
Yes.
private door.
And
Yeah.
it was kind of like the grodiest
The
area, like
cribs.
the cribs, and that was also the area that was sealed off. I mean, it was literally it's like opening
Yeah.
a jar, and like I mean, it feels like now we're messing
With
with their
people's
time
like half
capsule, and
finished drinks and stuff. I mean, it's just really
yeah,
creepy.
yeah.
And
And
they're
so
like
he
Airbnb potential.
like, why don't you go sleep in a crib where a bunch of women had to sleep with
I
60 men
mean,
each a day for 50
they were
cents?
very creative. I got to give them that. Yeah, very entrepreneur attitude here.
I mean, you buy a building and it's got 43 rooms. I do see how it's a thought.
And 2012, like that's ahead of the Airbnb curve, I would say. That's like early
Yeah,
days for
yeah.
Airbnb. That's very, very creative situation. Oh, did you
So
say B&B or Airbnb?
at the time B&B, but I'm sure it was going to become an Airbnb as technology
Got it.
moved on.
Okay. I thought they were like, let's get this thing on Verbo. I was like, wow, they're really okay. So they want to make it like a bed and breakfast type.
Bed and breakfast, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Um, but Michael is really noticeably going through what he thinks is like some
Going
sort of
through it.
going through it. Um, to a point where he is the topic of multiple ghost TV shows that come to film here because he seems so obsessed and weirdly attached, like kind of in the way that you always hear people saying that, like, oh, they were attached to this building and they
I don't
refused to
like
leave
that.
and they were acting really anxious and panicky. When you're watching the episodes, he looks fucking freaked out. Like he
Mm-mm.
is acting very odd. Um
Ooh, gave me
and
chills.
so the first show I watched was Dead Files, and that's
Oh,
when
you know
there's
I love them.
the paranormal investigator and the private eye, and they both
I
look at it
remember this. I think
separately.
this episode.
So basically Michael's friend calls them for helping. Like, our friend Michael lives here. He is weirdly obsessed with this brothel. He refuses to leave. He believes it's his duty to be here. He has some weird attachment, but every time he leaves the building he acts totally normal, but when he's here it's like
Ooh.
super frenetic and odd. He's like very uptight and like controlling and freaked out by everything. He has
Mm.
time slips where all of a sudden he doesn't know where he is. He feels total anxiety, but he also can't leave. And the psychic Amy identifies there being an older male landlord, which was probably Joe, the guy I wanted you
Mm.
to remember, because he at some point the brothers broke up and he was the only one who
Oh, Joseph. Yes. Okay.
owned this place until he died. And then she ended up describing this guy that she was seeing in all of her visions.
Ooh, and then she does like a sketch artist, and it's like,
Yeah.
I love that show.
And she did weirdly describe a picture of Joe or Joseph. But she said that without knowing any information about this place, just walking in, she said there's an older male landlord here who's involved in illegal activities. He likes to hurt, choke, and punch people. He is seen as a dark mist down here. And he's very educated. He's rich. He has white hair. He built the literal building we're in. He's disgustingly greedy.
Mm.
And then she says she also senses women down here being very sexual. And then she said, I sense, quote, drug dealers, kid sellers, and pimps.
Kid sellers. Oh God.
So, fun fact, there was actually a woman that was known in this area, and
Oh,
she was in
God.
the red light district, so where she ran essentially a back alley abortion clinic because
Okay. I mean, I guess that goes hand in hand with something like this. Yeah.
sure. And she actually ended up having 3 manslaughter charges for botched abortions and the women dying. But there were other times where the women wanted to deliver their babies to full term, and she would help deliver the babies, but she would tell them that their babies were stillborn and then sell them.
Oh no. Yeah, that's sick.
Up to like 30 babies that happened with, and
Oh
each
my
one was
Lord.
for like $500 at the time. So,
Ooh.
so it's weird that she picked up on that energy too. And a lot of people sense children down here and don't know why, but
Oh yeah, because it doesn't seem like there would be any reason for children. Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of like yanking on your pant leg and all that.
Mm.
And they think that the kids just grew up here around it if they had nowhere else to go because their mom was working here or living here. So anyway, at the end of the show, Amy, and by the way, the private eye seems to have like been able to validate all of this stuff. At the end, though, Amy hears Michael talking about his obsession with this house. And then she finally sees a picture for the first time of the guy she was describing. And it was this guy, Joseph, who built the building from the very beginning and was the original owner of the brothel. And says that Joseph and Michael, the current owner, look very similar and believes that Michael is Joe reincarnated.
Oh.
And that yes, that's what I was also doing at 2 a.m. And
God, what? I don't remember this.
And that their souls were like weirdly shattered but spliced and intertwined with each other. And that's why he's so attached to the brothel, because he's trying to carry on a duty that he had in a past life.
Oh my.
And Michael and the whole team kind of eat it up because he's like desperate for an answer. So
Yeah,
you
I
can
mean,
do
what are you gonna do? Disprove it, right? Like,
you can do what you want with that information. Yeah. You can believe what you want. It's a little out
listen,
there
if
for
Michael
me.
believes it, I'm like, I guess.
He seemed really desperate for someone to explain why he was how he was.
Okay, poor thing.
After that, I know I'm going on a lot here, but we're talking about the ghost now, so I hope everyone's chill with that. Here we go. The next show I watched was, of course, fucking Ghost Adventures, and it was clearly filmed after Dead Files because the introduction to this is that Michael has now been an owner of this place for 5 years, and he is
He's changed his name to Joseph legally.
Well, he obviously is still in an agitated state. He's still acting super
I was hoping at
panicky.
least it would like have calmed him a bit, but
So, they don't say the show Dead Files gave us this information, but you can tell it was cut where that had been said, and then they just cut right into the scene.
Cool. They're like, actually, we don't want to give credit to anybody, so we'll just say it.
So Michael's friend, who was also on Dead Files, who was the one who called them to say, come help my friend, she's also now being interviewed by Zach, tells them, Michael's still acting really odd, and he's very weird, and he's like, he acts totally different when he's not here, but here he's like totally off.
Still.
And tells Zach how the house has been affecting him and that he is Joseph reincarnated, pretty much. Weirdly, Zach doesn't react the way you would expect. He seems actually concerned. And since Dead Files, apparently, this is a super weird fun fact, that Michael also bought a house to live in outside of the brothel. And what are the odds, without knowing it, he bought Joseph's fucking house. So he bought Joseph's house that Joseph used to live in, and he bought Joseph's brothel. And didn't know either time.
I mean, listen, I'm convinced that he's reincarnated, but whatever. What do I know?
So, I mean, and also, like, the friend, too, is also acting very odd and like very similar to how Michael is acting. They're both acting very agitated by things. They're like seeing things.
Who
They're
is she?
like
Bonita
wincing.
reincarnated? I'm starting to get suspicious of these people.
So hold on to that. Um, both Michael and Jenny, the friend, are acting very bizarre. I mean, Zach is genuinely weirded the fuck out.
Okay, with that, like, that's got to tell you something, you
He's
know?
like not even doing his usual bits. He's like, you can tell he's like, are you fucking okay? Like, what's going on?
Oh my God.
And like at one point he's trying to talk to her while during the walkthrough, and Jenny's like covering her ears, and like it's like she can hear something or see something, and she's like wincing at things, and she's saying like he's right behind you,
And
and blah
Zach's
blah
like,
blah.
that's my job. I'm supposed to be on the floor, like, holding my head and saying I'm possessed, not you.
Yeah, it's like you're still in my thunder here. Well, I will say this was not mentioned anywhere, but I wanted to make sure I did some due diligence here. It seems, in hindsight, that Michael and probably his friend, who seems to always be around, were dealing with some serious substance issues.
Oh, shit.
And in 2018, Michael died of an overdose.
No, that's terrible.
So that certainly kicks a portion of the paranormal stuff out the window. And when you look at it now with that knowledge, it does feel
Okay.
like a pretty solid answer.
Yeah.
Especially because both of them are acting exactly the same way. It
And
feels
like
like
erratic and yeah.
And I
okay.
don't know. Maybe I'm totally off on the friend. Maybe she was just, maybe something really paranormal was happening with her. I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't speak. I wasn't there.
Mm.
But we do know that alongside this, which if you are leaning the spooky route, you can always say, oh, well, he went
He was
he went into
influenced
drugs
by
because
right.
of all this stuff, whatever, you know. But he did die of an overdose in 2018.
Oof, that's sad.
And so to bring some levity back to this where I can, we got Zach Bagans on the radar, so we can talk
I
about
mean, he's
this.
here, right? Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so
Whatever happened to Travis?
Travis ends up selling it because Michael passed. So
Oh, sad. Okay.
and Travis was really going through it too. Like he said that there was people touching him, like he could feel like a woman, like he could feel breath on his neck, he could feel a woman like grabbing him, and like he was really uncomfortable as well. And that they were all having paranormal experiences, which personally I think two things could be happening can be happening at the same time. Maybe sometimes they were not in their right mind and it wasn't paranormal. Maybe it was really paranormal and no one believes them because they were also under the influence. So who knows? But anyway, so while after Zach interviews these people and he's like totally freaked out, not knowing anything else, they do their own investigation, and the episode is very fucking creepy. There are huge crashes and thuds in the basement that everyone in the house hears. They use the SLS or stick figure camera, and it does like touch people on the arm right when they say to do it, and people can feel it and touch exactly where the SLS figure is showing up. They used the paranormal puck, which is essentially texting with ghosts, and they were able to speak to who they think was Eleanor. And there was a lot of interesting things there. I'm just trying to get through this quickly because there's something I do want to mention to you. In a very creepy way, Billy and Zach at different times have like, they black out and go into time slips, and they don't, when they find Zach, he's in an empty room facing the wall.
I told you that's his job. He needs to be the one having some sort of crisis.
He's like, I need to bring it back to me, actually.
Yeah, actually, this is focusing a lot on other people.
He does ask the ghost, why don't you like me? And an EVP that is very clear says, I just don't.
Okay, fair enough.
And then this is what I wanted to get to. I'm sorry, I know I've been rambling, everybody, but I've really got so invested in this one.
Don't be worried. I am apologizing in advance. I have quite a doozy of a story too. So
okay, cool. Well, this is the part I wanted to get to. In case you did need some levity, here it is. Zach, while he's here, wants to try an experiment.
What?
This is a quote. I
already know.
Tell me.
Is it some sort of he wants to like entice the sex workers or something?
You were close. You were sounds like what would happen. But his whole storyline was he was after the big bad dark Joseph and not the sex workers, which is
for
fucking once. Yeah.
For once, truly. Okay.
So flip it around, and what do you get? Wicked Witch. Sorry, TikTok. Sorry.
It's like a whoosh over
It's a
my
whole thing.
fucking head.
Anyone who hears the phrase "flip it around" these days knows what I'm talking about. Okay, but for Zach, flip around the situation, and instead of going after the women, he wants to go after the one man that owned this brothel. And an exact quote from Zach is, "I thought it would be a good idea to bring what this man wants: women." So Zach hired
Oh my.
multiple women and dressed them as women of the night,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then made them each stay alone in an empty room in this house, including the basement everyone's afraid of and the attic. There was one girl sitting alone in the basement. She
So
pulled
he
the
just
short
filmed
straw.
all of them.
So he just filmed them. And then he
Oh
was
my lord.
uh once he was at Nerve Center, I guess he gave each of them a walkie-talkie so you can hear when he talks that every room is hearing it.
He's like, now I get to talk to all these women at once. Oh my god, this guy.
He basically says, "Oh, I wrote the quote. I'm so smart." Okay, so he says into the walkie-talkie, he's talking to the man. He's like, "Wherever you are in the house, I know you can hear me. Um, ladies," this is the quote. "Ladies are in your rooms now." And remember, these are like fucking probably 20-year-olds who like just wanted a chance to meet Zach Bagans, and now they're
Or
stuck
just like
in
wanted an
basements.
extra $100 or something for like an acting gig or whatever.
Yeah, the holidays are coming up, and they need a TV credit
Uh-huh.
and to buy some dinner. Yeah,
Love that for them. I would do it.
he says, "Ladies are in your rooms now. We brought these ladies to you. You can choose which lady you want, go to the room you like, and you can touch the ladies if you like. You can do whatever you want."
Tell me they signed a waiver for this because like
That's what I'm
touch them,
thinking. I'm like, tell me this was a paid gig. Tell me you flip into the union for this. Tell me that like
please. At the
anything.
least,
Like
dude.
like and also like they're not just like in like sweatpants. Like they're in scantily clad
Yeah, that
outfits.
Zachary picked.
And one of them, I don't know if she was
They
just
say
really
rebel spirit. They have skulls.
one of them's like really trying to like be a part of the bit and like it's like leaning on the bed as if someone could walk in and like they're trying their best,
Boy, oh
but like
boy.
you know that one girl in the basement all by herself. You know they didn't tell her a single thing, girl. She'd be too
She's like,
scared.
wait a minute. I don't think I agreed to this.
Well, at one point, the girl in the basement, her name's McKinley, by the way, um, she hears heavy footsteps coming down the stairs of the basement, and she's alone. This is not anyone else. There are heavy
Mm-mm.
ass steps.
Mm-mm.
And you can see poor McKinley. She is smiling through the pain. She's trying so hard to keep it cool, and she's fully panicked.
She's probably like, someone's fucking with me, but what if they're not fucking with me? And they're
you
like,
can
we're not
s-
fucking with you.
her
Oh
face
my
drops.
God.
She's
Oh my
like,
God.
"This
Oh my
was a
God.
really funny dare, and now I'm tired. I want to go
Now
to
I'm
bed."
really regretting it.
So, then Zach, this is a quote from him. "If these footsteps are from a malicious spirit, I don't want to put McKinley in any danger." You fucking put her in a basement with a man who wants
Hello?
to hurt people. What are you
And then
talking
said,
about?
go touch her and
Yeah.
take your pick.
Pick your pick. Also, I can't
Hmm.
believe I wouldn't dare put her in any harm. So then Zach heads down to her, uses the spirit box, and a voice comes out that says, "I found ya."
Yuck. Sorry,
And
that was loud.
McKinley, by the way, at this point is holding on to Zach for dear fucking life. She's
Yeah, like carry
over
me out of
this.
here, dude.
She's over this. Meanwhile, an orb happens up in a room, or something happens in a room where Zach has to leave. And so the final quote I want to give you is, "McKinley is in full panic mode as I inform her that she'll have to remain down here by herself."
He's like, but I don't want to put her in any harm's way. Lock the door. What the fuck?
And keep in mind, I have really blown over the fact that like a lot of people died down there. Like this is
Yeah.
like violent men were down there.
Right. With all the yeah.
And so it's like the vibe is very spooky.
And
Anyway,
you probably told her all that while you locked the door.
yeah.
Just so you know, a bunch of people were killed down here.
Bye.
Anyway, they're gonna take their pick.
So nowadays the place is owned by David and Charlie. They offer ghost tours here. They do overnight investigations. They have been interviewed by many of the YouTube shows I watched. My favorite quote of theirs was they said, "When we walk into the building, every time we come in, we always speak to the ladies and we say hello, we're back, and several times we've gotten a very friendly voice saying hello," which is very precious.
Oh, that's nice. At least they talked to the ladies, not Joseph.
You're telling me. So, I'm just gonna rattle off some of the ghost things that happen here, and then
Yeah.
I promise I'll leave
And they
everyone
still
alone.
happen, right, with the new owners?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're very. I don't know if proud's the right word, but they are not ashamed of the ghosts
They like
here.
own it. Right.
They
Okay.
own it, and they're like you can go in and do like overnight investigations.
Well, that's
and
good at
they'll-
least that they like respect the history of it and are not just like, oh, nothing happened.
Yeah. They seem like the right people to be living there or working there. They actually work like they live 300 miles away and every other weekend come back just to let people
Oh
investigate.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, so other people who have visited here have reported seeing shadow figures darting between rooms and down hallways. Icy blasts of air for no reason. People have felt fingers twirling in their hair. They felt their head getting pat, their
Mm-mm.
butts getting pinched and smacked. People have felt themselves getting choked, pushed. They have woken up with bruises the next day, like fingerprints are on them. People have felt like extreme nausea to the point where they've thrown up.
Oh.
People have felt hands caressing them. They felt breath on their neck. They've seen 3 clawed scratches show up on their skin.
Ooh.
People have seen apparitions of a woman in black walking around or pacing the halls, and they've also seen an apparition of a woman carrying a suitcase, which they think might be Eleanor before she died, because they thought.
Trying to leave. Oh my gosh.
There are also apparitions clear as fucking day. There were some YouTube videos of like a whole ass person just like walking right behind the person on the camera, and like it's like, oh, that actually wasn't someone who works there. It was so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I can't say a whole apparition, but like you can see like a head is bouncing,
Like
is
movement.
like a
Oh.
full head. Like it's like obvious. There's no
Mm.
movie magic on that. Um there are very clear EVPs on recorders in empty rooms. And one YouTube I watched, uh back to back, the words that came out of an EVP session were, "They mean you harm. Watch out for evil. I made that sound. I'll affect you."
Ew.
Like I oughta just like tread marks in the ground because I'm driving away so fast.
No wonder people are vomiting. I would vomit if I heard that. Seriously, I'd be like, bye, I'm gonna puke. That's horrible. Also,
Um
like, watch out, they mean you harm. Here I go, I could affect you. Like, wait a minute.
ugh,
Are you the same person? Are you the person who means me harm? Are you
heinous.
it's heinous.
There is an EVP that is apparently clear as day, and people who knew her have confirmed this is her, and they know exactly what she's saying. Um, the last madam, who I wanted you to remember, her name was Ruby, and she was a
Hmm.
part of a robbery there. Remember?
She was the only one you told me not to write down, to be
Sorry,
fair. I
sorry.
wrote down Eleanor and Bonita, but I do
Okay.
remember all of them.
Well, Ruby was the last madam. There
Yeah,
was a
yes.
robbery there, that ended up closing the bank, or closing the brothel.
Hmm.
And there is a very clear EVP of her saying it's not in the safe. And
Check the refrigerator. Check the fake refrigerator. Might
that's
be
where
in
3
there.
of our employees are.
Ah!
So and the people who knew her knew that she used to keep her pistol in the safe. And so they're assuming that this is a residual memory from when she was being robbed and they tried to look for a weapon and she said it's not in the safe.
Oh.
Ugh. And if you were to hear
Yuck.
it, if you were to hear it, it sounds, because it's from someone from the 80s. Like it's they always make the joke of like, where are the ghosts from like
Yeah,
2002?
yeah, 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 yeah.
It just sounds like a random person like on the phone or something just being like, it's not in the
Ooh.
safe. Like, ugh.
Oh.
Um one guy who I really enjoyed, I think his name was Chris Fisk. He said that during an EVP session, he was not a believer, by the way. I think he like worked or did part-time stuff at the building and he just stumbled upon people doing an investigation, and so he was kind of sitting around
What's
and
this all about?
hearing this go on. He said something about like, "Oh, I left my phone in the car." And they got an immediate EVP of a voice saying, "Did he just say telephone?" Like they
That
were
motherfucker has a telephone in his car?
like they
They're
were
probably so confused.
yeah, or like they're amazed that telephones still exist in this era, and like like they can be in a car. But I thought that was so weird. It's
That's
like,
really cool.
did he just say telephone?
That's really cool. And because, like, you wouldn't necessarily predict that sentence next. Like, you wouldn't ascribe that to, like, a random sound. I feel like that's a very specific
Yeah.
phrase. Did he just say telephone?
Um People hear all kinds of voices, footsteps, thuds. People feel like they're walking through spider webs in certain rooms. People time slip constantly. They wake up from these time slips feeling like violent and aggressive towards their friends.
Ooh,
People have been
that's Zach.
yeah.
Punching Erin in the head.
People have been chased out of there. They felt something like on their backs when they were running up the stairs.
Woof.
The exact worst nightmare. People have on the spirit box gotten their own names and then the phrase "get out."
Ooh.
In the basement, like we have heard before, there was a domineering male energy there. And when interviewers have asked the staff what kind of activity has happened here, a lot of them just use the phrase just about everything.
I mean, it sounds like it. I believe it.
In the cribs in the basement, there is an overwhelming fear. There is panic, anxiety, sadness. A mirror flew
Mm.
across the room by itself. Things moved down there by themselves all the time. One psychic who went down there literally was quoted saying, "It was more than a creepy feeling. All basements are creepy. This was frightening."
Oh.
And then a construction worker refuses to go down there anymore because his tools kept going missing. There was one death in the basement where a sex worker actually protected another sex worker from a guy with a knife and ended up being stabbed to death. And so
Oh
one of the film
no.
crews went in and put in put flowers down for her.
Yeah.
And then nobody touched the basement for a few days. And when they came back, the flowers had been stomped on and shoved under a rock.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
hmm
Ooh, that's dark.
And then one artist was staying in an upstairs room and had like some inspiration to paint Eleanor because she's like this woman who passed here and was a madam here, but she could
Mhm.
not get the face right to save her life. She kept saying like she just felt compelled to paint differently, and she ended up painting this different face every single time she tried. And she apparently did like tens of versions of this painting and could not get it right no matter what. And it always ended up being the same face that she didn't recognize. So she
Mm.
showed it to the property owner, and they were like, "That's not Eleanor, that's Bonita,
Yeah, I knew it.
the
Oh my
one who
god, I knew
allegedly
it.
killed her."
Eek! That is so creepy.
Speaking of Eleanor and
Oh.
Benita, there's a psychic there that went there named Kathleen who went on a tour. And after talking to the tour guide and passing along her business card, the brothel like uh, put itself in disarray, like became a complete mess. After the
Mm.
psychic was there, I guess the tour guide started closing up and started hearing sounds through the house like the guests had not left yet, and so she thought someone was hiding or like what got lost in the house. But she was just there by herself. And then the next day when
Mm-mm.
she opened up, this is a quote, "The place was a mess. The hats that hang on the walls were on the floor lined up down the hallway.
Oh my god.
Pictures that had been on the walls were lying on the floor. The interior doors that were shut and locked were wide open." And then later, that same psychic came back a second time and had this moment in
Brave.
the I know, had this moment in the madam's quarters where she felt like immense sorrow. She saw the painting of Bonita, um, and she just
Mm.
like felt really like touched by this. But that night when she went home and went to bed, this is a quote from her. "I was awoken at 1 a.m. when I felt my cat jump on my bed and pounce on my foot hard. I sat up to shoo her away and then remembered my cat hadn't come inside that night. And then I saw her, Bonita, and she was sitting on the end of my bed. It was the
Biting my
late
foot.
It was the lady from the painting. She had followed me home. I asked her to explain her presence, and she began to answer me in a confident and authoritative tone, saying, 'Please tell Rudy,' the property owner at the time, 'that the Dumas will be okay. Tell him that Bonnie said so.' She
Bonnie.
she looked at me directly in the eyes and held my gaze for a moment with her blazing eyes, and I sat up to touch her, and poof, she completely vanished. The
Whoa.
the only remnants left was the dimpled outline of my bed cover where she had sat upon it and the lingering faint scent of lady's perfume.
Whoa.
With that, I knew that I had to call Rudy immediately. What did Bonita mean? Rudy will save the Dumas. From what? And then Rudy later said that the Dumas was the focal point of a lawsuit and a legal nightmare that was looming. And a few months later, the legal issue was settled in his favor and the ownership of the building came back to him. So he did end up saving it.
There was a mysterious witness named Bonnie.
Yeah. Um,
Ooh.
I know this was so long. I have 2 clips I want to show you, and I'm ending
Yeah.
on those. I'm ending on those. So
Oh my god, I
that's
have like
it.
terrible goose cam. Oh my god.
For all the people who are like Team Christine's story, I've really like edged you
Oh,
guys. I'm
come
so
on.
sorry.
It's like not that long.
I am going to send you a. I don't know if we can show it to other people, but I want you to be able to see it. Um,
Yes.
I took a video of it on on my phone because you had to like pay to watch
Oh
this.
right.
Um, so this is in the basement in one of the cribs,
Okay.
and this is a ghost hunting team, and they were getting a bunch of EVPs or like a spirit box talking to them, and they kept getting the word wait, and so they're like, wait for what? Wait for what? And then this happened. I just sent it to you. I hope it went through.
Watch it now.
Yeah.
Jesus fuck, dude.
Did you watch the whole thing? It does it twice.
Oh, it goes again. Oh, seeing it the second time when it zoomed in on that object. What is that object?
So funny you mention it. It was one of the bottles that they found in the 40s that had been left in a wall there. And the bottle, so for people who did not get to see it, the bottle that is sitting on a dresser, literally by itself with no one's touching the dresser,
No.
there's no reason for it to move. The bottle just goes bam, just drops on the
After
dresser.
they ask, like, wait for what? Your boyfriend to come back? And then, like, a few seconds and then boom.
Yeah, it
And I
just
love
slams
every
down.
time one of these clips happen in a ghost show, you just hear beep because they immediately start swearing. Like, immediate censor. I love it.
But so that bottle was actually an original bottle of laudanum, which
Oh.
in the 40s was used for abortions and was
Mm.
also used a lot by the sex workers to die by suicide.
Oh, God.
Although there's talk about maybe it was not actively intentionally meant
Yeah,
for
because I think
that.
it was also used as a medication.
It was used as a medication, but 3 teaspoons of it was a lethal dose. So you had to take
Oh.
very little of it, and some people might not have known and accidentally been poisoning
And you
themselves.
don't want a bottle of that spilling around on your nightstand.
No, but the fact that it's also empty is like, where did it go? Or like, was that just shared with a bunch of people or what?
Well,
But
probably if it was like sitting there for decades, it probably evaporated.
evaporated, you're right. So anyway, I thought that was creepy enough to show you is that a bottle literally just full blown moved
Ugh.
itself.
I
And then
don't
I'm
love that.
sending you a link to a YouTube clip, and I want you to go to the 35 on the dot minute mark. 35.
Got it. Here
And
we go.
basically, this is a guy, the guy I said I liked earlier, Mr. Fisk.
Mhm.
He was again a non-believer, and this is the thing that made him believe. He stopped by this investigation where he did not he did not believe in this shit, and then he saw a picture that someone took
Okay.
of a random guy. They just took a picture of a guy who was working there, and that's what they got in the picture.
Okay, and we'll put the links in the show notes with
Yes,
time
this
and
is
stuff
Paranormal Files, by the way, if anyone wants to go look at it. Paranormal
on
Files.
YouTube. Okay.
Mhm.
35 minutes.
Is that not the fucking craziest thing?
Hey. Hey, that's fucking horrid. Hey, stop zooming in, show. The amount of times you need to zoom in and then zoom out and then oh my God.
I literally, and
With
like
the musical
part of
stings,
me
I'm
is like,
gonna die.
that has to be like a costume or something. But like the fact that he's not a believer, he was like, that was what made me a believer. He was like, everyone get out of this fucking house.
Get out, we're leaving.
He literally said that. He was like,
hey, bye. This is the
So-
scariest photo I have ever seen.
So for those who can't see, there
Oh my God,
he
my
was
God,
in the middle of an investigation or with an investigative team, and they were taking just random pictures around the house to get, I guess, like some like baseline shots. And they took a picture of one of the guys on the team, and when the picture developed, there is like not even a question of a doubt, a full face in that guy's face staring at you and
She
smiling really
has
intensely.
huge eyes, like her face like this, like
It's
horror
like-
show.
You don't have to guess. It looks like a person in a
You see
costume
her
is standing in the
eyes.
picture with him.
Like almost like white face paint or like makeup.
Like a clown. Like it looks
Yeah,
like
it
she's
looks
like
clownish, but like, oh, it looks like horror struck. Oh, I hate that. Ugh. And it like her face is like, it almost looks like old timey because like it looks like her hair is pulled back
or like
like
because it was kind of like an older time. Maybe like being that pale was a thing.
Yeah.
You know.
I
But
mean, not
it's-
to immediately call this out, but like it almost looks like her nose is like missing, which I think isn't that a thing of syphilis? Isn't that what happens when you get syphilis? That your nose
Oh.
cartilage starts to? I mean, I don't know. That's kind of a
I
stretch.
like how you're
maybe,
like
but
not to call her out. She's not. She's okay.
let me immediately diagnose her with my non-medical degree. But like, it looks like a horror show. Like it looks like a skeletal, like a
Well, people in the comments are saying she looks like a corpse.
yeah, it looks like a corpse. Her eyes are like wide. It looks like she saw something horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, this is really awful. I can't stop looking at it.
Yeah, I saw that at 3 a.m. and I went, okay, not going to bed tonight.
Bye. I would not be able to deal with that. No.
Anyway, I thought that was a great way to end. That's the Dumas Brothel.
Please look at the photo. Maybe we can link the photo somewhere because, like, that's horrid.
Yeah, it's Paranormal Files, the Dumas Hotel, and it's 35 minutes, like on the dot.
Oh my God. I
But
like how they
it's
circle it. I'm like, yeah, I see it. You don't need to put a big circle around it.
well,
She's
like
right there.
I feel like they were like this. You clearly will have to circle it because you're gonna think this is a random
Is there
person
like
in the
another
picture with us.
investigator? Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
Ugh.
full ass person, and she looks horrified. It's almost like we're seeing her last moments.
Yes, that's what it looks like. She just saw something and got
Ugh. Like
startled to death.
I like can't look at her in the eyes. I
I
feel like she's
can't.
gonna show up in my house.
It's actually like really unsettling. It's like actually really. You know what this reminds me of? The only time I ever kind of felt like this, maybe not the only time, but one of the times was that picture of that little boy in that one house.
Oh, the Amityville horror.
Amityville, where there's that little
Yeah.
boy
He's
like
leaning
behind the
over the
stairwell who's
stairs.
like looking at you. Like that, I feel like is the only time I've ever felt so startled by an image.
It's absolutely horrid. Yeah. Anyway, I really went down a rabbit hole and I was trying to fit as much in as I could. So I hope everyone was fine with that. But
Oh my god, that was so scary.
by the way, that picture alone makes me not want to visit. Like it accidentally did backwards marketing where like I'm like
Yeah,
I can't be there now.
I'll be honest, I want to go now.
Part of me is like, oh, I still have to do it in my 50 states. Maybe I should go take a visit. And I'm like,
Yes.
maybe on the world's busiest day.
Take a bunch of selfies because I want to see if she shows up.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Anyway.
oh, that's horrible.
All right, beat that with your story.
Seriously, I give up. Honestly, I quit. That was crazy. That was crazy.
What would you like to do for intermission?
First I'd like to pee, and then I don't really have anything prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to brainstorm while I go pee?
Mm-hmm. I'll also pee.
And if I don't come back, somebody's been waiting for me.
The door slammed again, yeah.
Okay, it's hard to think of a thoughtful gift, right? But Nutrafol makes it easy because it's thoughtful, it's practical, it's meaningful. Healthy, stronger hair is a gift that keeps going long after the holiday season ends. I've referred several of my friends to Nutrafol. I've used it for years, and it really has done wonders for me.
She's lush. She's lush, babes. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And just like Christine said, thicker, stronger, faster growing hair happens with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months. And so if you are curious about what to get someone for Christmas, why not good hair? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a great gift because then you get to reap the benefits too. You know, you get to look at their head and be like, ah, how nice.
It's my gift. I get to look at your skull. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Woo.
hey. This holiday season, Nutrafol is a perfect gift for anyone on your list. Your mom or aunt going through menopause, a friend who just had a baby and is experiencing postpartum hair shedding, your husband or father who relies on his baseball cap to cover up, yourself, or anyone looking to support their overall hair health.
Yeah, give the gift of confidence this holiday season with Nutrafol, whether you're treating yourself or someone on your list with visibly healthier, thicker hair. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Right now, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription plus free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and use promo code DRINK. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code DRINK for $10 off.
Oh, Christine, look at my boring frames behind me.
Ooh, they don't even move.
I know. I need an upgrade. Whatever could we do?
I have a great gift idea. It makes it super easy. It's called an Aura frame, and it is such a thoughtful gift, but also such an easy gift. And then you got pictures of Hank, you got pictures of whatever you want on your walls, and you can just keep looking at them, and it's just like the endless joy of seeing all your favorite pictures flash by.
Yeah, there are unlimited free photos and video when you get Aura frames. You just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi. Aura frames is the hidden gem that becomes the favorite gift long after the wrapping paper is gone. I can't imagine there's a family member out there who wouldn't appreciate essentially a photo album in one compact little frame.
And it looks nice. Like it's like a really swanky frame too.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver Mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code ATWWD at checkout.
That's auraframes.com, promo code ATWWD. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays and support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Wow, folks, that was quite a yappy hour we just did, and it was a lot of intense conversation. So we're back.
For more intense conversation.
We suddenly realized what we were doing, and we were like, oh shit, we better do the episode. So we're back for the episode. I have a doozy today, okay? This is a story of Erin Patterson and the mushroom murders.
Literally, thank you. I don't know what's about to happen, but it sounds, when you've got a name like the mushroom murders.
It's a doozy. Do you remember this? This was within the last couple years.
No, I've literally never heard this before. No.
Okay, so let's get into it. Erin, Erin Patterson, was a 48-year-old woman living in Leongatha, I hope I'm saying that right, a rural town in Victoria, Australia.
Cool.
She was separated from her husband, Simon Patterson, and shared 2 children with him. In mid July of 2023, she invited her ex, Simon, and her in laws, which were his parents and his aunt and uncle, to a lunch at her house. Gail and Don Patterson were Simon's parents, so her parents in law. Then we've got Heather and Ian Wilkinson, who are Simon's aunt and uncle. Simon was invited as part of the lunch too, and Erin explained that she wanted to discuss her health issues with the family. But
Okay.
the evening before, Simon, her ex, sent her a message, and it said, "Sorry, I feel too uncomfortable about coming to the lunch with you, Mom, Dad, Ian, and Heather tomorrow, but I'm happy to talk about your health and the implications of that at another time."
And Simon was
She,
her ex?
her ex, yeah, they were
Okay.
technically still married, but they were separated.
I see. Okay. And they had kids together. So it
2 kids,
it
yep,
sounds like she had something serious to tell him.
correct.
Okay. Got it.
And she had kind of made that clear. She's like, I want to talk to everyone about. And she had hinted at some health issues recently, so they weren't totally shocked by this. They just didn't know what the actual conversation would be about. She was not happy with this message, and she responded, "That's really disappointing. I've spent many hours this week preparing lunch for tomorrow, which has been exhausting in light of the issues I'm facing, and I spent a small fortune on beef filet to make beef Wellingtons because I wanted it to be a special meal, as I may not be able to host a lunch like this again for some time."
Oh.
So, starts off rough. And despite the fact that Simon did not come to the lunch, Erin went ahead with the plan anyway. She served individual beef Wellington pastries, each containing beef, pastry, and mushrooms with side of mashed potatoes and green beans. She told her guests that the news she wanted to share is that she had recently been diagnosed with cancer, and she said she was seeking their advice on how to tell her children.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they saw it more as like a family meeting rather than just like a casual social lunch.
Right.
So they spent time with her. Erin had reportedly sent her children out to a movie before the guests arrived so that they wouldn't be around for the conversation. And the lunch proceeded without incident. They said goodbye and they headed home. That night, within hours of leaving, all 4 guests became violently ill with severe vomiting, diarrhea,
Ooh.
and their conditions deteriorated rapidly overnight.
So I can't. Am I allowed to make a guess here?
Please.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm not gonna guess. I'll instead say I don't know. Beef Wellington's one of my favorite foods, so I would
I
have
was going to
also
make
been
you
sick.
guess what the meal was. Yeah.
Beef Wellington is on my last row meal request.
Well, it's perfectly apt for this conversation then. Have you ever
Mhm.
made it?
I certainly couldn't make it, but it's shocking how few places in LA serve it. I think it's one of those like dying dishes that no one makes anymore.
Isn't that
Um,
the Gordon Ramsay special? Or am I wrong about that?
he does make a beef Wellington that is
Yeah.
famous, yeah. But anyway, I'll just say I would be just as sick as these people if you put any beef Wellington in front of me.
Yeah. So I was interested because so Red Handed, which they just do a great show. I
Hmm.
listened to both of their parts on this story, and they talked about like making beef Wellington, and I'm like, I've not made it,
It's
but it is
hard.
hard because you use like what do you call that? The long cut of beef, like the whatever.
It's like a roll.
Yeah, that thing. And then you're supposed to cook it like to the right temperature, medium rare-ish, like throughout. It seems like a tough thing. She, however, did individual, which isn't really a normal thing, I think. I think you're not
No,
it's not
usually it's
usually
like
like
it looks like a tiny little loaf of bread. And you,
right.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, so she did a little bit differently. Either way, the following morning, Simon received a call from his dad. Remember, he had not attended the lunch. His dad calls him, Don. Don says he and his wife, Gail, were sick and needed to go to the hospital. He added that Heather and Ian were sick as well. On the way to the hospital, Gail asked her son, Simon, whether Erin had mismatched dishware because she had used a different colored plate from everyone else at the lunch,
Hmm.
which is kind of a wild thing to say right out the gate, but because
Yeah.
it's like, and Red Handed made a good point too of like a lot of dishware comes in sets of 4, to be fair, so like
Okay, red-handed. Okay.
you would maybe take the extra plate, right? But it is a little bit odd.
And to clock it so quick, it's like either you
Where
noticed
was
right
that
away
exactly?
or you don't even realize how profound what you're saying is.
Yeah, subconsciously it's stuck until, and you didn't even realize. Yeah, it's just odd. He said he wasn't sure, but perhaps it was mismatched tableware that was the reason. They get to the hospital. Dr. Chris Webster, he becomes pivotal in this story. He asks the patients, he's alarmed, right? All four of them. At first, he thinks maybe food poisoning, but the level of their sickness is pretty shocking.
Hmm.
So he asks them about their recent meals, and he pretty quickly suspects amatoxin poisoning, which is what is caused by death cap mushrooms.
I was going to say, was it a type of mushroom that she shouldn't have used? Okay.
Type of mushroom. Death cap mushrooms are responsible for approximately 90% of fatal mushroom poisonings worldwide,
Ooh.
but they're quite rare in Australia. So he's immediately alarmed. Dr. Webster tells the family he needs to speak to whomever made the meal ASAP. So Simon called Erin, his ex. She said, yeah, I've had gastrointestinal issues since the lunch yesterday and all morning, and I think I'm going to come in and get an IV at the very least.
Okay.
Erin presents at the hospital, and Dr. Webster rushes out. He hears she's there in the waiting room. He rushes out, said something along the lines of, I've been waiting to speak to you. And she just immediately looks alarmed and shocked. And she says, it's not a big deal. I'm just a gastro patient. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
And he's like, I need you to know you might be affected by a potentially fatal toxin.
And also, like if anyone dies, even in a world where it was not intentional, that's a
Totally.
manslaughter charge, babe. Like, you're
Totally. He's
in
like, we
trouble.
need to figure this out. And not even if you're in trouble, but like, you need to tell us what's going on so that we can fix this before it becomes fatal. He tells her, we need to admit you for treatment and observation. And she says, I have to go actually feed my dog. And they're like,
Gotta blast ya.
bye. Okay. She says she has to go home to feed her pets and pack a ballet bag for her daughter. In CCTV footage, you can actually see a nurse trying to stop her from leaving, like is walking up and putting a hand on her shoulder and being like, please, like, we need you to stay.
Oy.
She is determined to get out of there. She's like, absolutely not.
What did she
And
think was going to happen? Why the second you walk into a hospital after that, you
she
have to
came
assume.
voluntarily. That's the other thing, is like nobody tricked her into coming. She came voluntarily. Basically, Simon called and said, hey, the doctors are really worried about you because everyone's sick. And they think it might be food poisoning or maybe even like a fatal toxin.
Hmm.
And she goes, yeah, you're right. I should come in. And then she comes in and they say, hey, we think it might be mushrooms from wherever they were sourced. Where did you get the mushrooms? She's like, I have to go. Bye.
Oh boy.
She pieces out. One thing that made me laugh was, like I said, she had said, oh, I've had gastrointestinal distress. I've had diarrhea all morning. She is in that CCTV footage boldly wearing a set of white pants. And a
Yeah.
number of like internet folks have pointed this out. And like, yeah, obviously it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's like,
It
girl,
means something.
right? Like, what are you wearing white pants and you're saying, oh, I had diarrhea all day and like I've been barely able to go
No,
anywhere. And it's like,
even
why
like
are you
a
wearing
even
white
like a
pants?
heather gray sports gray sweatpant would be
Rough choice.
scary. You
Rough
go
choice.
black. You go black every time.
Yeah, in that situation. So after Erin left against medical advice, Dr. Webster made what is now an infamous call to 000, the emergency number. He tells dispatch that he needs to track down a woman who could potentially be afflicted with fatal toxins from a mushroom. It's unclear in the call because he's very professional. He sticks to the facts, but he had already begun to suspect Erin had a little more to do with this than
Yeah.
maybe initially realized.
When you run out and there's fire behind your heels because you are trying to get out as fast as you can.
Because you
Yeah.
heard the word mushrooms and your eyes went really wide. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to suspect something. At the
It's-
very least that it was accidental, but something happened.
But something might have happened because he's like, we got to track this woman down. The reason he had gotten initially a bit suspicious is that this was more nefarious than just an accident, is that he had asked where she'd gotten the mushrooms and she said Woolworths. And
Hmm.
he was like, I smell bullshit. Obviously,
They
like
would not sell
Woolworths is not selling death
poison.
cap mushrooms. And also he said like he insinuated like I might have believed her if she had been foraging for mushrooms and it was an accident, whatever. But like Woolworths is a wild choice. If you're gonna say Oh, I accidentally came across poison mushrooms. You'd mention the foraging. If you had been foraging, you'd be like, oops,
Or
what
like
did I
someone
do?
gifted me these from when they
Yeah.
went foraging. Yeah.
Some mysterious, yeah. And so she said Woolworths, and he was like, okay. So this is not just like someone who's admitting to amateur foraging or anything like that. The Woolworths comment was a huge red flag. 2 hours later, Erin reappeared at the hospital. She claimed she'd gone home and accidentally fallen asleep. Evidence would later show that she'd been driving around aimlessly on the highway for 2 hours, probably like racking her brain for what to do.
For sure.
I've been in that mode where you're just like driving and you're like, what? I mean, not
Just
about
in a
this,
pan.
but
No.
no, not quite.
No, I could imagine just like being in a panic, just being like, what do I do? What do I
Yeah,
do? What
like
do I do?
circling, like trying to get your brain going. So she comes in, she's like, oops, sorry, I fell asleep. Now we know that wasn't the case. Upon arriving the second time, Erin told doctors she was feeling much better and that there probably wasn't much to worry about because she'd actually given the leftovers of the beef Wellington to her kids and they appeared to be fine.
Hello?
Hello.
And she actually did feed it to them?
Hmm.
Wow, she went full Monty on this. Okay.
Well, we don't know. The kids have later said they ate leftovers, but we're not sure. She may not have fed but that was the story she told. That yes, she fed the leftovers of the beef. Which another point, like even if it was just food poisoning and not like a fatal mushroom, why would you throw that away? Even if it was just like
Yeah.
basic diarrhea, even
It's
if it
like,
was just mild diarrhea, you
enough of that.
shouldn't be feeding that to anybody.
I'm sure one of her arguments was like, well, beef Wellington's really hard to make. So, like, I just was going to really make it work because that
Yeah, I
was not worth the
guess.
time.
So they said, like, hey, we just told you that this could be fatal. And she's like, don't worry, I scraped the mushrooms off because my kids don't like mushrooms. And still, like, what are you
Hello?
thinking?
Yeah. No, thank you.
And they
No,
don't
no,
even
no.
know if that's the case yet. Like, we don't know. That was just a guess that it was the mushrooms. It could be the beef, who knows?
She is just digging herself a hole because I feel
Yes.
like couldn't she could have left the kids out of this, but now they're gonna be panicked, being like, "Where are your children? You might
Yeah.
have just killed your children."
So they say, you need to go get your kids out of school and bring them here for observation, for assessment. And she says, no, I don't want to scare them. And the doctor, who's basically had enough of this, he's reported to have responded with words to the effect of, do you want scared kids or dead kids?
Oh, good for
We're
him.
not fucking around here. All the while, Dawn, Gail, Ian, and Heather were on the decline. Doctors needed to know where Erin had gotten these mushrooms. She claimed she used a mix of mushrooms for the meal. Some of the fresh ones were from Woolworths, and the dried mushrooms were from an Asian supermarket. They called local infectious diseases physician Professor Rhonda Stewart. She's immediately concerned that this is going to be a public health risk, that if a supermarket were inadvertently selling death cap mushrooms, that this was going to be a widespread issue.
Yeah.
So she shows up and is like, you need to tell us where the supermarket was. Do you remember anything about the area? What neighborhood? She gives a few suburbs. But
She
she
can't
says,
remember
I
out
don't
of a
remember.
few suburbs. She can't come up with like
Can't remember.
wild. It's kind of like when well, it's not, but it's making me think of when certain restaurants like had to like pull their stock on like lettuce because of like E. coli or something,
Yeah.
and like there's a huge frenzy because everyone could be getting poisoned, people could die.
Because
But
it
it's
just
like
like spreads.
it's
Yeah.
absolutely taken so seriously. Like I don't think she thought through her backup alibi here. Like
No, she really did not
she's
like, and
causing a citywide panic.
yeah, she's one of these people that like thinks she's real bright and she is smart in a lot of ways. Like she's an air traffic controller. She's passed the test to do that. She's a smart woman, but she thinks she's gonna fool everyone. And it's like
It's
she's
wild.
already shocked that they figured out the mushroom so quickly that it's a poison mushroom. Like the way she reacted, like totally caught deer caught in headlights, was like, I have to leave. Like
Like,
she
just
panicked.
totally like, she didn't think she'd get confronted once at all. That's
No.
crazy.
And she's like, well, I have diarrhea
Gotta
despite my
go.
clean white pants. I mean, I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
So she goes to speak with Erin. She's like, you need to tell us, this could be a disaster for the public. Erin is reluctant to speak with her. She keeps she keeps evading the question. She said, oh, it was months ago. I have no clue where they came from. Doesn't seem particularly concerned. So then the professor, Rhonda Stewart, says, have you been mushrooming? And Erin said, no.
Hmm.
Later, Erin claimed she didn't know what this meant. And it's like, she's like, I didn't know it meant foraging for mushrooms. And it's like, well, what do you think? You're on like a
Like
You're
you're
taking
tripping
shrooms?
balls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what else could it mean? Whatever, fine. You didn't know what it meant. So she says no. 6 days after the lunch, it's August 4th, 2023. Both Heather Wilkinson and Gail Patterson pass away in the hospital.
Mm.
Dawn Patterson died the following day on August 5th, 2023. Doctors tried everything. They tried they actually did a liver transplant, and all three of them passed away. Ian Wilkinson spent weeks in the hospital. This is Simon's uncle. And by the way, he was the one who knew her the least, which is so crazy. Like the aunt and uncle didn't know her very well.
Hmm.
The parents-in-law they'd had an ongoing relationship with her for years, but the aunt and uncle were just like, "Oh, we were happy to be invited. Like we just
Just happy to be here.
were
So
there to
like
help out."
nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe.
Boy.
So Ian, he spent weeks in the hospital. He was actually put into a medically induced coma. Yeah, for months. And
Wow.
he actually survived. I'm sure she did not like that because he woke up and was able to tell them all about the lunch and everything that went down.
Mhm.
He woke up, he survived, they said against all odds, but he had to learn that his wife of 50 years, his sister-in-law and his brother-in-law had all passed away.
Oh my God.
And to this day, he continues to suffer long-term health complications. I saw somewhere that he called himself half alive because he had lost his wife. I know.
Oh
It's
my
terrible.
God.
And he's a pastor, and he continues to, what do you call it, preach in church. And
Truck
he's only
along.
ever spoken about this with like sadness, and he doesn't like berate her or blame her. It's pretty wild, but he just clearly, this is such a tragedy.
No.
Thankfully, the children were confirmed to be unharmed. So, for whatever she said, she thankfully did not do anything to them. But again, it's like, so she's fine and her kids are fine,
I know.
and everyone else is shady.
I know.
August 5th, 2023, investigators searched Erin's home. They took multiple phones and a tablet, and on the tablet, they found photos of kitchen scales with mushrooms on them. They then took these scales and tested them, and they tested positive for death cap mushrooms. There were also pictures of a dehydrator with mushrooms in it. And
It's a full
when
working lab over here.
I mean, really, and why are you taking pictures of all this? When asked if she ever owned a dehydrator, she said no. So they were like, But they didn't tell her they had the pictures. They didn't want to kind of show their hand. So they
Sure.
said, well, we found this manual. And they had found a manual. And she said, well, yeah, I collect manuals
Okay. Sure.
for appliances you don't own. That's so fucking weird. What are you talking about? You collect manuals.
It'd be one thing if she was like a 50-year-old dad who had a big Ziploc of all
the
the manuals
spectrum.
of the
Oh,
things
yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah,
house.
yeah,
And
yeah.
probably, I mean, someone who likes to read the manuals, I'm sure.
But like
For
to
fun.
collect them and say I've never actually owned one, I just have
Yeah,
the
to
manual.
not
I mean,
own
what
it
are you
is-
talking about?
To not own it, or to say you don't own it, is like, then how did it even get here?
Why? And I want to add to like the caveat that technically, devil's advocate, like just because there were death cap mushroom traces on the scale doesn't mean she necessarily knew at the time they were death cap mushrooms, right? So like, but they were shown to have been holding death cap mushrooms at some point.
Yeah.
So when police checked her bank statement, wouldn't you know it, 4 days after the lunch with the family, when basically right as they're about to pass away, she had paid through, they were able to see through her statements, paid for a visit to the dump where she was also caught on camera, and she was dumping a food dehydrator at the dump.
Whoopsies.
Right. They pull it from the dump and find traces of death cap mushroom in the dehydrator.
I mean, this is a slam dunk, huh?
I mean, really, it's absurd. On November 2nd, 2023, Erin Patterson was arrested on 3 counts of murder and 5 counts of attempted murder after it was discovered that her ex, Simon, had been ill and hospitalized for a mysterious stomach illness months earlier. So the accusation was, not only did you kill these 3 people, attempt to kill Ian, who survived, but also, like, at least once tried to kill your husband.
Like it was
in
like
the
a
past.
practice round, maybe, or
Like
something.
or like a failed attempt, you know?
Yeah, or if I do it to him first and not everyone all at once, then it maybe looks less suspicious if it's scattered or something, or
Could
spread
be.
apart. I don't
Although
know.
he did, we'll get to his testimony, he did almost die like on multiple occasions. So I think
Oh,
she was attempting this. And, one of the theories is that she was just aiming at him the whole time. And when he didn't show up for lunch, she was like, well, now everyone else is collateral damage and that's your punishment, I guess. I mean, I don't really know the
That's
logic there.
crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, think about that suffering of like your parents and I mean, it's just really sick.
Wow.
And the kids are in the middle. I mean,
That's so sad.
it is. So she was arrested for both murder and attempted murder. So now I want to get into the trial and the evidence, like both circumstantial evidence, including the white pants, which isn't really evidence, but is more like internet side eyes. But I want to start the day that everyone was hospitalized. Remember, she claimed like she'd been sick all day since the lunch she spent that morning with terrible diarrhea, etc. She needed an IV from the hospital. Well, turns out she had actually taken her son to a flight lesson 90 minutes away and back. And she only stopped one time during this trip. So, like, if she were having constant, stomach issues, questionable.
She would still be at the airport.
You'd think, right, you'd think you wouldn't get very far, or at least, like, make multiple stops.
Lest you forget when we were on tour and I had horrible food poisoning, there's no stopping you
There's
from...
nothing. Especially if you're wearing white pants, my dude. If that was an accident, you made a big mistake.
But there's no... Well, let me just drive 90 minutes in this direction and hope for the best. You are stopped.
Down for the count. So when they see this footage of her stopping at the service station, she only goes into the bathroom for 9 seconds. And they're like, well, so it doesn't even seem like you went to the bathroom. And she said, well, no, actually what happened was I had to stop like for an emergency bathroom break in the bush, like on the side of the road. And so I'd used like some napkins and stuff to clean myself up. And when we got to the gas station, I went inside to throw away like the paper towels and napkins and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, they asked her son and he doesn't remember stopping on the side of the road. Then again, he doesn't remember stopping at the gas station either. And he's like a kid. So it's like, but you'd think at least if your mom was like shitting on the side of the road, you'd have like slight memory. I mean, again, I don't know. It's a kid. I don't want to put him on the spot like that, but
I'll put my mom on the spot. I still remember when she peed on the side of the road. I still remember it.
I mean, listen, it's something I feel like it's hard to forget.
It's like when it happens, it's got to happen. It will be in the zeitgeist
There's no
forever.
stopping it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't remember stopping on the side of the road for what that's worth. What's more is after she spends 9 seconds in the bathroom and then comes out, which is like, if you were peeing, you didn't even wash your hands for long enough,
Mm-hmm.
She leaves and she goes and buys a sweet chili chicken wrap from the gas station
with her dirty bathroom hands.
Isn't that? But
I know
you have diarrhea, food poisoning. You're gonna order a sweet chili chicken wrap from a gas station.
Literally,
bullshit.
Might as well get fish sticks or something from like a weird
from
a
the
gas
little
station.
rotator.
Yeah. Oh my god, yuck.
It's just a wild choice to me. I'm like, this just all feels ridiculous to me.
All in white pants. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is again like obviously this doesn't prove anything, okay? But like I know people have probably eaten worse stuff during food poisoning bout, but like
in my spirit, it proves something.
Something's up.
Yeah.
Erin appears calm. She doesn't seem frenzied. Like nothing seems wrong in the footage. So prosecutors contrasted the footage like with the claims that Erin made about having diarrhea all day, being so sick she needed an IV, all this. Going to like she admits at the time she needed to be hospitalized and get an IV, and it's like, okay, clearly not. The prosecution argued the footage was inconsistent with the severity of illness she had described. She claimed that she had stopped on the side of the road, but that couldn't be proven, obviously. Now, as for foraging mushrooms, she was asked again at a later point, not have you been mushrooming, but have you been foraging for mushrooms or foraging for anything? She said, no, I've never done that.
Okay.
In May 2022, records show, now this is where things get a little specific, so I have to use my words carefully. In May of 2022, records showed that Erin had visited a website, by the way, using Bing, searching on Bing, please.
Ask Jeeves how to kill my husband.
What's the one my stepdad uses? DuckDuckGo. It's just embarrassing.
I've never heard of that one.
That one doesn't store your information. So I'm like, okay, but your iPhone does. So whatever. Okay, you do whatever's going to make you feel better. So she goes to Bing and she searches for a website called iNaturalist with a little I. iNaturalist, which featured a posting about death cap mushrooms having been spotted in a particular area called Loch. Now, only 10 days after this was posted, and we cannot prove she read that posting. All they can prove is that she went onto the website during the time that that was posted on the website. So there's no way to prove she actually read what was on there. But the posting was by this woman named Christine who said, hey, I just spotted this mushroom in this spot, even like geotagged it because she was a former poison expert. And she said she goes like on hikes and stuff. And when she finds something dangerous or whatever, she takes it, she puts it in like a doggy bag and throws it away so that nobody accidentally picks it.
Sure.
So she puts the tag there for all the other nature people,
to be like,
naturalists.
don't come near here.
Yeah, or like keep an eye out because we don't want random people wandering and like eating a mushroom off the ground and it being poisonous. So, and because they're so rare in Australia, it's like, oh, if you see these, like you should mark it. And, you know, being someone concerned about public safety, public health, they pinned it. Well, we can't prove she read that post, but she did go to the website and during the time that was posted. And 10 days later, Erin's phone showed her traveling from her town to the area called Lock and staying in that area for about an hour.
Just an hour. Just a quick trip.
Quick out. She spent 9 seconds in the gas station bathroom, but she spent an hour.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually.
I'm just saying. Okay, so another sighting of the death cap mushroom, this time in an area called Outrim, was posted May 22nd. The following day, her phone showed her driving to Lock again, then to Outrim, then back to her town, where she stopped at a store to buy a dehydrator.
Girl.
Like, please.
Girl.
Please.
Okay.
2 months later, she hosted a lunch that ended up killing 3 of the guests. Circumstantial and phone evidence can, of course, be vague, especially if you're like triangulating where somebody went. It can't necessarily prove they were doing what you're saying they're doing, but it looks pretty damning when you line it up with everything else. Investigator, especially when she said she's never been foraging, but then she's on like a foraging website. She's like searching for a foraging website.
I've never been foraging, but I know exactly the spots that are marked for me not to go if one were to forage. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have been to those spots, but to do something else.
Right. But
right.
Yeah. Okay.
So then they say, okay, well, here's the footage of you dumping a dehydrator at the dump 4 days after you poisoned all these people and they were on their deathbed. They checked the dehydrator. Of course, there are traces of these poisoned mushrooms. Another wild thing. Remember when I said they searched her house, they took the tablet and they took several phones. So she had actually done, I think, 4 factory resets on her phone since the lunch. And she had also she gave the police a phone that had the wrong SIM number in it, or a SIM card. It had a new SIM card or a different SIM card with a different phone number than the one everyone was familiar with. So she claimed she had accidentally given them the phone that like wasn't her main number. And it's just all a little shady and dicey, whatever. Her lawyer argued like, well, in the footage, you can see the phone laying out. It's not like she was hiding it, but it's like, okay, but to give your phone up and then it's like not the right phone.
Yeah.
It's weird. So when they went through the factory reset log, they found that it had been reset multiple times. Once on the afternoon that police were in the home searching. And she had actually said to them, I need to go to the other room to make a private call to my lawyer. And they let her do that. And it was there that she reset the phone. The final factory reset was done remotely when the phone was in police custody already.
Ooh, okay.
And on the stand, they asked why she did that. And I guess she thought she was being funny or clever. And she was like, I wanted to see if those dummies like had left the phone on. And it's like,
pranked ya. Yeah.
Yeah, really. Yeah. And it's like, okay.
Well,
we see you did it, so it's not like helping. I don't know.
I thought this story was going to be over the second they found the dehydrator at the dump. Like, it's like, or whatever it was. I'm like, how are we still even asking questions
It just
at this
doesn't
point?
stop. I know.
Yeah.
The trial was held in Morwell. Oh, God. This was one of the ones that Red Handed apparently got some shit for saying wrong.
Oh, okay.
Morwell, Victoria. I almost said Virginia. Well, that's wrong. The trial was held in Virginia. The trial was held in Morwell, Victoria, approximately 45 minutes from Leongatha. The trial lasted approximately 9 to 11 weeks, which was much longer than anticipated because, like what you said, it sounded like a slam dunk. More than 50 witnesses testified.
Wow.
Apparently this small town was so like bowled over by the number of people that their hotels were swamped with like reporters and the jury and
Jeez. Can you
witnesses
imagine
and
that poor small town just like
oh no, they were thriving. Their coffee shop started selling mushroom tarts.
you know
I
what?
know.
I know it's fucked up, but I love a
Red-Handed was
theme.
like, "You gotta love Australian humor." I was like, "That really is the most Australian
Oh,
thing I've ever heard."
where you can shove a theme,
So
I'll take
dark.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay. And apparently they were selling out, you know? I mean, whatever.
Great. Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. So, yeah, they have this like booming trial. It's like sensational. This is basically like the story. And it's in Australia, it's huge. I mean, I remember when this was happening, and I remember feeling so sad when I first heard about it because I was like, that's terrible. Imagine accidentally poisoning all these people
Mm,
because they're like nobody knew right at first
right.
until the trial really happened. And um I just was like, "Oh, how devastating." And then, like, the more I read about it, I was like, "Oh, she doesn't seem particularly bothered that she killed 3 people, let alone,
Things
like"
are clicking all of a sudden. Yeah.
she's more concerned that, like, "I gotta get rid of this dehydrator," you know?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What a mess.
So, yeah, it is a mess, and the central issue at stake here was whether Erin Patterson knowingly and deliberately served the death cap mushrooms or whether it was just a terrible accident, which is what she claimed. And I will say, too, there is footage, and I can't watch it again because it's so cringy. It's horrible. It's her being stopped by reporters outside her house, which not cool, but they're like, "Hey,
Mm.
tell us what's going on." And she starts this sort of like performance and she's like crying but not.
It's like
And
that Chris
it's
Watts guy.
oh yeah, with Shanann Watts. It's similar vibes of like your whole body goes, "Ooh, this is not right. It's not
Yeah.
right. It's fake."
Interesting. Okay.
And it's not done
Was she
well. Like
saying anything? Was she just
yeah,
like,
she's like, "It's terrible. What's happened?" And at one point, oh my god, she goes like this and she checks her hand to see if there are tears. And there's no tears. Like it's
oh,
really ominous and you're watching this like and she's like, "What?" Like it's so bad. And I'm like, "You're not even good at pretend crying." It's
oof.
startling to watch because it's
Okay.
really
Well, I'm not gonna ask. I'm gonna let the story play out, and I'll
okay.
ask
I
you
hope
later.
I hope you remember because I don't want to accidentally skip whatever it is.
No, 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 you're good.
Um
I was about to totally take us on a turn, and really trying to lock the fuck in here. Okay.
it's hard. There's a lot to discuss. But yeah, so it's like this fake crying and it's like this weird boo-hooing and like she's checking for tears. There's no tears. She's also like her stature is so odd. Like she's just kind of standing there like crying and it's like, no, typically if you're like upset and on camera, like you're trying to like cover yourself, shield in some way. It
Or at
just
least like try
doesn't
to like
look
hide that you're crying. Yeah.
or stop, but it's like unnatural. It's really unnatural and like unsettling to watch. And basically, she talks about herself the whole time. She's like, "They were so good to me. I would never do anything to them." Like it's like, okay, but they're dead, and you're saying like, oh, and then she mixes up which one survived. Like she says the wrong name, and it's like, hello.
That's literally so twisted.
It's really terrible to watch. It feels terrible. Like you just like
Ooh.
your whole body's like on edge watching it. Um, it's not cute. So basically, the whole time she's claiming this was a terrible accident and I can't believe that this happened and yada yada. So evidence showed that there was tension in the family before this lunch and that their relationships had somewhat deteriorated over the years. So text messages were introduced. In which Erin referred to her in-laws, her parents-in-law, Dawn and Gail, and her ex, Simon Patterson, disparagingly. She
Hmm.
was actually in a Facebook true crime Facebook group
Oh boy.
called A2W. No, she was
No.
in a Facebook true crime group about a different case called Kelly, her name was Kelly Lane. It's a famous Australian true crime case. And during lockdown, she and 4 other members kind of splintered off into a separate group and would message each other regularly.
Okay.
So one message to another member from Erin read, "I've been hiding powdered mushrooms in everything. Mixed it into chocolate brownies yesterday. The kids had no idea."
Girl.
Girl.
Girl, come on. Like
And
this
then she's
is
like, "I've never owned a dehydrator, but oh yeah, I forgot I used it for
multiple recipes for multiple
multiple
nights on multiple
recipes
children and people.
and told
I
people about it."
you know, the confidence is
I
astounding.
know.
It's like or like the complete it's like you got to be delusional to
You have to be. You have
some
to be on a
things
different planet, really.
to either think you can get away with it or really believe your own situation. I don't know.
Yeah, to really like be that self-involved. It's disturbing. So she had messaged these people like about not only powdered brownies, but she'd also talked about her in-laws. And in one message, Erin called the family a lost cause and said basically fuck them. Nothing was particularly damning. Like, it's not like anything that you would be shocked to read somebody write about their toxic
Sure.
relationship with an
Like,
in-law.
they're
Like,
mean
it's not.
sometimes, or
Yeah. Like, oh, they suck. Fuck them. Okay, well, that doesn't really. It's not as damning as it might sound. But of course, like, in context of hey, they all died. It's a little more important.
Mhm. I hate the
Especially
police are looking at everything I'm writing, or will
yeah,
be.
yeah. Then you kind of got to do a little, preemptive. Like, how is this gonna look?
The no planning blows my mind. It would be the
No
only thing I was
planning.
paranoid about.
But so the wild part too is that the first time she was like looking at those mushrooms, it was like a season. It was like well before she ever actually foraged for mushrooms. So this has been like an ongoing thing. Like, the idea must have entered her mind a long time ago.
Yeah.
The actual lunch, they said, took about 2 weeks of preparation, that she had like been planning or talking about it.
Mm.
But yeah, this seems to have been like a kind of longstanding plan of hers in some way or another. So this showed like the frustration she had with her in-laws, which, goes to show. Oh, she also claimed like, oh, we have a great relationship. Everything's fine. They're wonderful to me. And it's like, well, you're clearly not telling the whole story because you're on talking to your friends about how much you hate them.
He's like,
Um,
ha, they're great. I'm just gonna kill them. What
yeah,
the
yeah,
hell?
they suck.
There are a
And
lot worse in-laws that are also not being killed, by the way. Like that.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you don't have to murder about it,
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to
You
go
don't
that
have to-
far.
don't
You
have to
don't
murder.
have to do that part, Like, Jesus
You
Christ.
can just like block them on the phone or
even
something.
fantasizing about it, I'm sure people do, but you never actually do it, I mean, I
Yeah,
don't, to
I
clarify,
don't.
but but I'm sure some people do. And it's like, wow, this takes it to such a new level, especially if you've been planning this for a long time, and especially like including the aunt and uncle. Like, what the fuck did they do? It's just a lot. Also, she claimed like lunches like this were normal, and everyone in the family was like, no, no,
No.
no,
Sorry,
this is
babe.
not, it was not normal.
Nope.
So Simon Patterson testified, the ex. He said he believed Erin had attempted to poison him on multiple occasions in the past. Evidence showed Simon had previously become critically ill after eating meals prepared by Erin. He had even been in a coma at one point, and he had lost a significant portion of his bowel that had to be removed. And 2 times his family was told they needed to prepare for his imminent death.
Oh my god. How
So she
traumatic.
really did try, allegedly.
Literally,
to-
like medically getting yourself like bowels removed is
Mhm.
not a light surgery.
Yeah. Yep. So charges relating to Simon were eventually dropped, and I think people presume they wanted the final case to be very clear cut. Not like, oh, a year ago she potentially tried to poison her ex. Like, they wanted to focus on the lunch and say, this is what happened, the end. So now let's get to the cancer claim, because, like, first of all, what's happening here? What are the motives? Why did she do this to begin with?
That was what I was going to ask you a while ago, and I said I didn't want to.
Ah, okay.
My thought
You're
was,
right.
did she even have cancer?
No.
Okay,
Of course not.
So I had whatever shred of pity I could have left when I thought maybe she did have cancer, because I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, family annihilator shit. You think that you're not going to be here, and you just don't want anyone to suffer, and you think you're putting them out of their misery or something once you're gone. Which, gross
Nope.
on the cockiness anyway. But okay, so she just felt like killing.
Nope, you'll find out. There's more of a motive, I believe.
Oh, okay. Now that I didn't see coming, Christine. Okay.
Well, you just thought she was like, I guess I'll kill them.
Yeah, I thought she was like, I'm just going to use it as the reason in case anyone asks.
With
I
the
don't know.
cancer? Oh no, the cancer had nothing to do with the actual murder. That was just how they believe she got them to come to the lunch. She said, I have big news. She
Oh.
also didn't think Ian would survive, right? So she thought everyone in this room is going to be dead. They're not going to be able to say, oh, she told us she has cancer. Ian
I
wakes
thought
up.
she was going to use it as her own alibi when she,
Oh, no.
like, why everyone had gathered. It's like, I was going to tell them, which also would have been crazy because the doctors would just be like, she doesn't have cancer.
Well, so that she did. So they go, well, hang on. Ian is now awake. He claims that you told everybody you had cancer. And she's like, yeah, I did have a fear of, I did have a cancer scare.
Okay.
And you're on the stand,
yeah.
dude. Like, good luck with this one. Good luck. Walk yourself right off the cliff here, because she says, oh, yeah, I had this fear, and I actually had a schedule. There's actually a reason why I lied about this. And they're like, okay, well, we just went through your medical records. There's no history of cancer. So explain. She says, well, actually, the reason I lied about that is because I was really embarrassed about what was actually going on. I was
Oh
going to
my.
go get gastric bypass surgery, and I was too embarrassed to tell my in-laws about it. So I lied and said it was cancer, but I knew I would need their help when I had this surgery. So they're like, okay, weird that you waited till trial to tell us that.
Also, like, so you were embarrassed to tell them, but you knew you would need their help during the surgery. You're gonna have to tell them eventually, and also, like, that would be crazy to tell people I have cancer and then
And
have
then
to
say,
go,
how do I tell
JK,
my
I just.
kids?
Oh my
I was just
god.
embarrassed.
This
And
is such a
so
frenetic,
it's a
crazed
mess. It's a
plan.
mess. Yes. And so she testified she was too embarrassed about her gastric bypass surgery to tell her ex-in-laws.
It's
And
so much
she,
more embarrassing to lie about cancer.
yeah,
What are you
yes.
talking about? Oh, I'm embarrassed that I'm losing weight. Like,
And you were planning to tell your kids about it. Remember, she met with them to ask how
yeah.
she should tell her kids that she has cancer. Like, hello.
Oh my
And so they
god.
asked, like, okay, well, where? And this is when you know her lawyer's like just pissed off because like she's just going rogue. Okay, they ask like, oh, well, you said you had plans, so where did you have your consult? Like, where did you have your consult for the surgery? She goes, oh, it's this med spa called Enrich, and apparently the prosecutor during court runs out of the courtroom because he's like, I gotta go check this immediately. Like, I
Yeah.
gotta go check because this is coming up during trial. Like, this is not something we had information about. So he runs out, figures out Enrich literally does like Botox. They don't do surgery. Okay. So she's
Well, you
just
said med
fully.
spa, and I went,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Like, they don't even do, it's like a surgery, and they don't do anything even close. So she's really fucked herself here. She's on the stand for way too long, of course, because she's convinced she's some sort of outsmarting genius.
Crazy.
She eventually is like cornered into admitting that she lied about never foraging mushrooms. She lied about never owning a food dehydrator. And when they were like, why? She was like, well, I was just panicked because I realized like people were dying and I didn't want to get in trouble. And like it was an accident, but I was too scared to say anything.
What?
Okay,
Okay.
sure. After 6 to 7 days of deliberation, the jury returned unanimous guilty verdicts. Erin Patterson was convicted of 3 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, that was for Ian. And the sentencing occurred in the Supreme Court of Victoria before Justice Christopher Beale, who described the crimes as an enormous betrayal involving substantial premeditation. By the way, remember she made individual beef Wellingtons, basically so she could portion out how
Mm-hmm.
much of the toxins everyone was getting. And then her
Yeah.
plate was the only one that didn't make her sick and was on a different color, right? I
Sure.
mean, it all is just such a bad look. Including her like false story about getting everyone together, her cancer.
I mean, literally not an inch of this feels good.
No, none of
No.
it. None of it feels like no, none of it even feels close to being part of the truth. Erin Patterson was sentenced to 3 life sentences for the murders of Gail, Dawn, and Heather, 25 years for the attempted murder of Ian Wilkinson. There was a non-parole period of 33 years set, and that means with time served, Erin Patterson may apply for parole in 2056, and she'll be about 82 years old at that point. So Erin Patterson has formally lodged an appeal against her convictions.
Oh.
Prosecutors have also appealed, arguing the sentence was manifestly inadequate. In the meantime, Erin is still in prison. She is actually incarcerated at the infamous Dame Phyllis Frost Center, which sounds scary.
Yeah.
It's a maximum security women's prison in Melbourne. And she reportedly spends up to 22 hours per day in her cell due to safety concerns because she's so notorious. And reportedly was even accused of tampering with an inmate's food.
Of course. Wow.
Mhm.
It's like, how much can I get away with here?
Yeah. So now for the motive. Basically, all they could come up with, not really, I mean, not that anything's like enough to kill a bunch of people over. This is like a mass murder here, but like, maybe if it's like, oh, sexual abuse or something like that
Right.
enraged you or whatever, it's like, okay, maybe I can understand. But all they can figure out is that in 2022, Simon had filed a tax return saying they were separated. And they were. But Erin was livid because she had actually, when her mother had passed, had received a $2 million Australian dollar inheritance. And she had loaned a lot of money to her in-laws, to her brothers and sisters-in-law to build houses with no interest. She had like really helped her in-laws out, given them a lot of resources and money. And now the way that he filed taxes basically fucked her over. Like just totally fucked her over. So she was
Wow.
livid, understandably. And she confronted him and he said, "Oh, it was a mistake. I can fix it." But apparently she was like, "No, fuck you." And then went after him for child support. But that backfired because a child support agency said, like, "Okay, well, Simon, you've got to stop paying for the kid's private school. You've got to stop paying for this. And you actually are now required to send a $40 payment per month per child," which, like, is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Unclear why it's so low. It could be because of her inheritance and that she had a lot more money than him. That's my guess. I don't know the details, but essentially now she's screwed and she's getting $80 a month. And he's no longer, she had to pull her kids from private school. He's no longer paying for anything. And she apparently asked her parents-in-law to mediate, but they said they didn't want to get involved in anything financial. So she basically felt like
Okay.
they were like enabling their son. You know what I mean? Like, which
Could
ex his
she have
parents.
could she have hoped that everyone was going to get together at this dinner so she could like corner them into like peer mediating their conversation or anything?
No.
Okay.
She'd already tried that for the past year or two, and they just were like, "We're not going to get involved in the finances." But they were doting with the grandkids. They were very close with the grandkids. They had a great relationship. They were very loving. They were still really kind to her, although Gail didn't invite her to her 70th birthday party. And I guess Erin was absolutely incensed by this. But, like, think about the ego you've got to have to be that furious someone didn't invite you to their 70th, your ex in law, whatever. I mean,
So petty.
get a grip, dude.
It's
And,
so
like,
petty.
even Gail claimed, like, "Oops, it was an accident. I'm sorry. Of course we want you to be there." And, like, she just was not having it. And it's like, it looked like you were looking for a reason, dude.
This is so different that I thought she just had cancer and was going to just kill everybody so everyone died together. That's
Oh,
as
no.
simple as I thought this was going to be.
So
Why
much
did I
more
think that?
nefarious. No, no. So they wouldn't involve themselves in their son's, like, financial stuff. And they were like, "Listen, that's not,
Just
I
fair.
mean, fair." Exactly. Like, if your ex daughter-in-law is like, "I need you to," I mean, this is just messy. So Simon claimed it was a miscommunication. She just was not having it, especially after she had loaned his family like hundreds of thousands of dollars. But it's like, then don't do that. Like, people say, like, if you're going to loan money, don't, to people, especially like in your life, like friends and family,
Mm-hmm.
do not expect to get it back, because if you do, that can cause such a rift. Like, anybody whose family has like donated money to each other, I've just always heard horror stories about this. Like, years later, there's disagreements about how much it was, or what they agreed to, or the terms of it, or
Yeah.
whether it was a gift or a loan, and it's like, I've just always heard, if you're going to loan money to someone, do it
Just
out of the
assume
goodness of your heart. Don't
it's never
assume.
coming back.
And if it comes back, it's a great surprise, because
Yeah.
like, this is just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, if you're
Um,
gifting money, you're giving money. Like
if you're
just
loaning
assume
it
it.
to family, yeah.
Just assume it's not coming back to you. Yeah.
From what I can tell, the family, I mean, she didn't charge them interest. I assume, I like to think someone paid her back. I don't know. I never got the vibe that like they stole all this money from her and never gave it back. I think she just felt really like taken advantage of, even though
Sure.
that wasn't necessarily what was happening.
Yeah, I get
Um,
that. I
and she
guess.
was like,
Yeah.
she took it personally, and like, this is her ex, and she felt like she was being left out of the family.
Just a messy breakup.
Really messy, and she made it so much worse.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's a really long one, but that is the mushroom murders of Australia.
I think that's one of my favorite stories recently that you've told.
It's a doozy. I mean, it only wrapped up this year, a couple months ago, so it's
Wow.
very, very new. Happened in 23.
I never heard about it.
I remember like feeling so bad for her, and then like reading into it and going, "Oh shit, someone
Yeah.
did this
Hang on
on
a second.
purpose?" Like, whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole house full of people just annihilated. Horrible.
Wow. Um, a mushroom grew in my yard yesterday.
Go to
Not a
Bing,
not a death cap. I don't
search
think.
iNaturalist. Don't
Hon-
let
Honestly, I
your
think it came
dog
from.
eat it.
No, I think it came from him. I think his fertilizer is giving me mushrooms now.
Ew.
I know. It was a pretty like magazine looking mushroom.
Was it one of those white ones? Yeah. Yep.
That's a poopy mushroom?
I have no clue.
I don't know, but it popped up exactly where he goes to the bathroom. I was like, is he doing this?
It
So
doesn't appear to be a death cap, but I would not test that theory.
certainly, I would not want to eat it since it came from
No
him.
matter
Probably.
what.
It
No
feels
matter
like
what.
I'm just gonna consider it a death cap. It
Ah,
feels
yes. The
like
famous,
the experience.
yeah, Death Cap
Um,
Junior.
I do think that was one of my favorite stories you've told in a while. Good job.
Oh well, I'm glad. It was a poisonous beef Wellington. Very,
I mean, you had me beef Wellington
I know,
and ended in a mystery. So my two favorite things.
dark stuff. Thank you everybody so much for listening. This may be my last episode, depending on who broke into my house. I'm gonna
I was
go.
like, Santa?
Hello, surprise! Yeah, I'm
Ah,
gonna go look around. And Blaze texted me during the recording. I'm on the plane, so like clearly that was
Definitely not him.
that was not him.
Well, I hope you make it.
I wonder if
And
any of it could be heard. Like I do wonder if you can hear it because it was pretty loud. But
I didn't hear anything.
yeah, maybe it's too quiet to hear. But
Well,
no,
enjoy
I
your
think everything's all right.
enjoy your snowy day. I know it's snowing over there. Very jealous
Thank
of you.
Yeah, it's gloomy.
So jealous of you. I'll go hang out in the sun.
Go sit in your mushroom garden.
So far I've got one in the collection, and I'm
Oh,
sure
you're
more will
collecting
sprout
them. Oh, good.
for the trash, of course.
Oh, okay. I was like, who are you, Linda?
I'm-
Collecting hair
for my
and teeth.
compost, and that's about it. All right. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you next week. And
Merry Christmas. That's
Merry Christmas. Why?
we
Drink.